This episode is brought to you by Kia's first 3-row all-electric SUV, the Kia EV9, with available all-wheel drive and seating for up to 7 adults, with a 0 to 60 speed that thrills you 1 minute, and available reclining lounge seats that unwind you the next. Visit kia.com/EV9 to learn more. Ask your Kia dealer for availability. No system, no matter how advanced, can compensate for all driver error and or driving conditions. Always drive safely.
Join me, 48 Hours correspondent Erin Moriarty, on my podcast, My Life of Crime, as I take on true crime investigations like no other. This season, I'm looking into the labyrinth of crime and secrets within families. I'm cutting straight to the evidence and talking to the people directly involved, including investigators and the families of victims. Listen to My Life of Crime with Erin Moriarty wherever you get your podcasts.
This podcast contains mature content, explicit language, suggestive situations, and partial to full frontal nudity. Listener discretion is advised. Don't let your kids listen to this.
So the funniest thing is I'm listening to the Fled episode, and Zach is talking about, so many daisy chains. And me and Maze are like, dude, you only get to pick one. You know that, right? And Zach's adamant, like, no, for the future.
No.
Zach's whole point on that was, well, I didn't pick Bulletproof, but I really wanted to, and I'll get it next time.
If I could get there, but I don't think I can get to Bulletproof from this one. So I've got it down to 10, and even 10 feels like I'm leaving a lot.
How many of them are Resident Evil movies?
None. I didn't even include the Resident Evil movies.
Real quick, guys.
Trust me, this is the most I've ever worked.
Things are developing.
What does that mean?
Oh, well, Zoom can't pick that up, so.
That didn't come through at all.
Really?
It just looks like you blew a Twinkie. No.
Looks like you're biting your nails.
Really? You guys can't hear any of this?
Literally more quiet.
You just look like a bingo.
Rhythm.
Well, clip this, Mace. Things are developing, and then you just fucking have a harmonic.
I held off. I wanted to bring it with me to the show today.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no. It's got to be only after whatever first Cinephobe harmonica appearance appears.
Wow. Restraint.
If you have an appearance, appear it.
A lot of restraint. Much like last week when they were talking about trucks, and I was just like,
Well, you did get it out on NBA radio, and you're like, I won't spoil it. I'll just say, gotta fled.
That was the week before. The trucks one was on Ice Road.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
We can say that, right? Yeah, we can say Ice Road.
It's already happened.
Timeline
got fucked up.
Timeline in this movie, very confusing.
Is it?
Isn't it? It's possible. I don't understand what this podcast is about.
Poppycock.
It's a fuck house. On a weekly basis, we are consuming more concentrated bad movies than probably anybody in the history of mankind.
Poppycock.
What story? What story? What are you talking about?
Do you want lunch?
I have yet to laugh in this movie. I'll just tell you that.
You picked it, motherfucker. So just remember that.
You know the problem with Hollywood is? They make shit. Unbelievable, unremarkable shit.
I was legitimately offended.
You were offended?
I was offended.
I didn't know you could get offended.
I was offended.
This did it.
If I were gay, I wouldn't be offended.
They're fucking making shit up, I mean.
Inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail after inconsequential detail.
Bees don't lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm holding a mic in my hands, and now I'm talking all alone.
Welcome to Cinephobe, the podcast. We break down the movies you're afraid to admit you love. I'm Zach Harper. That's Amin Al-Hassan. That's Anthony Mays. Are the Levitard and Friends Network from Meadowlark Media. Top of the Lark, boys.
Top of the Lark.
You better get some fucking reviews in. Every single one of yous. I'm gonna start putting S's on the end of words for no reason.
5,933.
I don't even know how many more that is than last time.
I want to say it's 100.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do 100 every week. That's still not gonna be enough.
No.
1,000 every week.
No, you went too far. That's why.
From left-leaning listener, top of the lark.
Oh,
Fled is a phobe. Racist hunter, golden dumpster.
Ooh,
Was he dead? Question mark.
great question.
And then Ash on Baldwin. So I thought, okay, maybe that's a typo there.
Yeah.
Ash off, stuntman who jumped off the bridge. So it's ass. Hate to break it to you. It's not Ash.
Well, hold on. Ash on, Ash off. I don't hate this. We can find a category for that.
can we?
Only for Sean Connery movies.
Ash on.
Ash off.
You got a submission. Needs to be 40% or lower on the Rotten Tomatoes audience or critic score. The absolute deepest we've ever been into the Daisy Chain. Despite what you guys said at the beginning of the Fled episode.
Yes, every episode it'll be the deepest we've ever been.
Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain. Chain, chain, chain.
Liam Neeson month led to Blacklight.
Did not.
Aiden Quinn took us to Practical Magic. Sandy Bullock took us to Speed 2 Cruise Control. Tamura Morrison took us to Barbed Wire. Clint Howard took us to Waterboy. Brett Rice, who everybody obviously knows, took us to Fled. Lawrence Fishburne took us to The Ice Road. And now it's Maze's turn on the Daisy Chain. And he used Larry Fishman again to bring us the 1997 horror sci-fi thriller Event Horizon.
I'd never heard of this movie.
What?
Don't remember it coming out.
Yo.
All of this was brand new for me.
Science fiction horror as well.
Thriller.
First double dip on the Daisy Chain, which means that Zach cannot pick a Lawrence Fishburne movie.
Double elimination.
Tactical redundancy, I mean.
He's out. Yeah.
But apparently that hasn't limited your choices here.
That's how I got down to 10. I had 6 Lawrence Fishburne movies. Death Wish 2, Bad Company, Biker Boys, Matrix Revolution, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, and Running with the Devil.
Those are all gone.
I got a question on the Daisy Chain because I was thinking about this. Can we bring it back to Lawrence Fishburne at some point and use him again? Or is it just like back to back and they're out forever?
No, I think it's just you can't do 3 in a row.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair.
You can bring Brett Rice back anytime you want, Zach.
Oh, I'm going to. He's got a roster. By the way, joining us later on in this episode, comedian Pockets Graham.
Pockets.
Alleged friend of Amin Al Hassan.
Yeah, man. I met Pockets at a Comedy Cellar in New York.
We'll see if this is true.
I feel like I have no idea who this Amin guy is.
I don't know why this guy reached out to
Keeps bugging me about getting on this podcast.
Event Horizon stars Lawrence Fishburne and Sam Neill.
Yes.
Fishburne, repeat offender for Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition, Fled, and The Ice Road.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
He had Fled in 96, this movie, Miss Evers Boys, and Hoodlum in 97, and then The Matrix in 1999.
Oh, I love Hoodlum.
Also got to point out that he was Cowboy Curtis on Pee-wee's Playhouse when he was still known as Larry Fishburne.
Oh, man.
He was.
That was my introduction to him. Sam Neill had Victory in 96, this movie, and Snow White, A Tale of Terror in 1997, and then The Horse Whisperer in 98.
Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic World Dominion.
Oh, trust me. Sam Neill's got some.
Bicentennial Man,
Oh.
eligible.
Memoirs of an Invisible Man.
The Vow, The Commuter.
There's a lot. He was also in The Zookeeper.
Was he?
A different The Zookeeper.
Oh, I was about to say repeat offender?
Yeah, I wish.
Drop the. It's cleaner.
We also get Kathleen Quinlan, Jolie Richardson, and Richard T. Jones.
I could not recognize a single name in the credits.
What?
And then in the movie, I only recognize one other person.
I would love to find out who that is because we got repeat offender.
Do we have a repeat offender?
Kathleen Quinlan from The Doors, Apollo 13, Breakdown, which I wish qualified because
Was that Michael Douglas?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Same shit.
Same thing. Yeah, I knew you were gonna. And My Giant, which does qualify. Breakdown, there's a line from the movie that would have been my golden dumpster if it qualified. Truckers kidnap Kurt Russell's wife. Once he figures out that they've kidnapped her, at one point they're describing her physically and then say about 3 pounds of tit. And it was the first time I had ever considered, oh yeah, I guess they weigh something, you know?
It's like a bag of sand.
Like a bag of sand, yeah. None of that shit's coming through this.
No?
No.
Maybe if you turn on original sound or something, we can hear it.
My original sound is off. Let me turn it on.
Let's try it now. Oh,
There it
is.
is.
Thanks, Whitty, for turning on original sound. Jolie Richardson from King Ralph, The Patriot, and My Dad's Christmas Date.
101 Dalmatians, Nip Tuck.
Yo, I legit thought your dad went to a movie on Christmas as a date with your mom, and he took her to whatever goddamn awful movie you were about to say.
Oh, Hard Rain. I still remember that family outing. Richard T. Jones, you should know him, Amin. What's Love Got to Do with It? Jury Duty, The Wood, Collateral,
Slim from the Woods.
Phone Booth, and repeat offender, Soul Plane.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Uncredited as fake Denzel, going through the metal detector. Also, Vantage Point, Chips, Hot Pursuit, Kiss the Girls, and 94 episodes of The Rookie.
Which one was Vantage Point?
Dennis Quaid. Saw it in the theater. It's the movie where, like, all right, something happens and they keep rewinding it to the starting point for someone else's, now wait for it, vantage point.
Ah, got it.
And so by like the sixth one in the theater, some guy yelled out, "We fucking get it already."
It's like Snake Eyes. We talked about it on Snake Eyes.
Jack Noseworthy from Encino Man, Breakdown, Idle Hands, Undercover Brother, and repeat offender, he's Blind Charlie in Barbed Wire.
Oh, no way.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Not blind in this movie, I mean.
Well,
I don't know, man.
maybe at some point.
I don't know.
So you didn't pick up on Charlie.
Not at all. Not even a second.
Jason Isaacs from Dragonheart,
What a wicked game to do.
The Patriot, Black Hawk Down, Elektra, and repeat offender from Armageddon.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Lucius Malfoy in the Harry Potter movies, The Tuxedo, Wind Talkers.
Win song, and you know that.
Sean Pertwee from Formula 51 qualifies. And Peter Marinker from Judge Dredd, United 93, and Labyrinth.
Skinnamarink-a-dink-a-dink, skinnamarink-a-doo.
And Holly Chant from The Crow, City of Angels.
Angels.
Paul W.S. Anderson directed this movie. He directed Mortal Kombat.
Not to be confused with Paul Thomas Anderson, which I got excited. I was like, oh, okay, maybe this could be a good one.
Directed Mortal Kombat, Soldier, Resident Evil, Alien vs. Predator, Death Race, Resident Evil Afterlife, The Three Musketeers, Resident Evil Retribution, and Resident Evil The Final Chapter.
So yeah, he's not a repeat offender.
No,
Mortal Kombat is Mystery Crate.
Oh, that's not canon.
not canon.
And he's married to Mila Jovovich.
Oh, no wonder they did so many Resident Evil movies.
They were dating since the first Resident Evil movie, and then they kept running it back.
I was sitting next to my guy Cooper Moorhead at the Heat game.
Oh, I love Coop, yeah.
Yeah, and Coop was telling me the other day in their little office, he brought up the movie The Fifth Element. And not only had none of these little bastards he works with ever seen it,
No.
they'd never even heard of it.
They don't know Multipass?
Multipass.
Dallas Corbin Multipass.
Never heard of it.
That's fucking annoying. I hate young people.
The biggest movie of 1990, like, made a shit ton of money.
That was a monster movie.
Changed Chris Tucker's career. Made him into a mainstream Hollywood actor.
Event Horizon, written by Philip Eisner.
Eisner.
Wrote this, Mutant Chronicles, and Sweet Girl. That's it.
Firestarter 2, Rekindled.
Synopsis for Event Horizon. A rescue crew investigates a spaceship that disappeared into a black hole and has now returned with someone or something new on board.
And also, bullshit.
Tagline, a haunted ship, a missing crew, and infinite evil.
Ooh.
Sure.
Other tagline, infinite space, infinite terror.
I think they're over exaggerating the infinite part, but
Really locking in on the infinite.
yeah.
Well, if you can, spoiler alert, bend space and time.
Yeah.
You know.
This is the Interstellar prequel.
God, could they explain that a little bit more in this movie? I didn't get the first 30 times.
I didn't get enough exposition, no.
$60 million estimated budget, grossed 26.6 million US and worldwide. It's a flop, boys.
Flop City.
Yeah, at 42, still a flop.
Flop City, bitch.
Before we jump into this movie and you listen to the rest of this podcast, I watched Event Horizon on Paramount Plus.
Yep.
Me too.
Event Horizon received 32% from the critics on 87 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, 61% from the audience on over 50,000 ratings. Amin, would you like the positive or the negative reviews?
Let's see what the harmonica says. Oh, that's positive, yeah. Glass half full, Zach. Give me the positives.
Hey, John, that's weird. That glass looks half full to me.
Wow. Now that you mention it, it is half full.
Kevin Carr of Fat Guy at the Movies.
Do the voice.
This is one of Anderson's best films, offering genuine scares and a visionary design.
You sound just like Mace with a fedora on.
Christy Strauss of Film Inquiries.
House of Strauss.
Since its release 25 years ago, it has taken on quite the following, and for many, it is because of its spectacularly disturbing mashup of camp and horror, sci-fi, and, well, Sam Neill. Carrie Ann Posey of Orca Sound.
Imagine if we pronounced James Posey's name as Posey.
I thought we were going to get a Zion Williamson joke there for Orca Sound. Worth a watch as it starts off slow and then gets better as it goes along.
I love when Zach comes up with like really mean jokes and then
I try to 8 Mile you.
ascribes them to me. Like, oh, I thought Amin was going to say this because, you know.
It's ventriloquism.
It is. Trill with 2 L's. Huh? Kids still say Trill? No. Heather Wixon of Daily Dead.
The Wixon Man.
Which is of well, all right, never mind.
All right. Event Horizon feels like a once in a
It was
lifetime
too complicated. It was too complex.
cinematic excursion in sci-fi and pure unfiltered horror that rarely ever comes along out of the studio system.
It was very filtered. More on that later.
Anthony Arrigo of Dread Central.
Arrigo.
Careful.
Arrigo's again.
Still one of the best space horror films ever made.
What?
I mean, that Jason X, that's pretty much it, right?
Oh, I got some Jason X notes for you coming up.
Film 4 staff of Film 4. He says cowards as he's filling his face. Anderson's attempt to show the world that Britain could do big budget sci-fi just as well as Hollywood may have fizzled at the box office, but it's still a relatively effective deep space frightener.
I knew it, man. I had a feeling. It was just too many accents.
Sarah Cartland. Is that the next Levitard and Friends Network podcast? Too many accents?
Too many accents.
Sarah Cartland of Caution Spoilers. A misunderstood movie I loved on release. And am thoroughly enjoying being smug about now that the rest of the world has realized its grave error. Tense and intensely frightening, though even after 20 years, I have no idea what a baffle is.
Shut up, Sarah. What is a baffle, by the way?
I don't know. It's baffling.
Owen Gleiberman of Entertainment Weekly.
Gunterman, Gleiberman, Glaberman, Gloschen.
Just when you've written off this deep space nightmare as a late summer melange of Alien, Fantastic Voyage, The Shining, and a dozen more forgettable otherworldly thrillers, it unleashes some of the most unsettling horror imagery in years.
Come along and ride on a fantastic voyage.
Maybe at the time.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
After the Saw franchise, it's kind of hard to say that, but yeah, at the time I would say yes.
This was a good example of how we're just numb to everything in 2023.
Yeah.
Oh, look, what's the craziest shit you can show us? Ooh.
Ooh, a guy has no eyes. Welcome to Ghost Ship. Bill Clark of From the Balcony. A B movie with an A quality production. Event Horizon still haunts me. Scott Weinberg of eFilmCritic.com. No, I won't do the voice. Cool actors doing gory things in outer space. I'm so in. Widget Walls of NeedCoffee.com.
Walls, West.
This film left me completely and utterly unable to sleep, so I look at this film with a great deal of respect.
What?
And then blank user, 5 out of 5, right up my alley, sci-fi horror in space.
This motherfucker must have loved Jason X then.
Who didn't? Negative reviews.
Wait, negative reviews.
Oh boy.
Because now we're sad. See? Happy review, happy sound. Sad review.
That's art.
That's hard. That's hard to do.
Stop being a pessimist. This tank is not half full. It's half empty.
Mal Vincent of The Virginian Pilot. In the end, and at least 30 minutes before, you get the idea that you're stranded in empty space. Dennis King of Tulsa World.
Your love is king.
But unfortunately, Anderson can't seem to decide whether he's making a sci-fi thriller, a ghost story, a gory horror film, or a metaphysical musing on the nature of good and evil.
I mean, he was trying to do all that.
Yeah.
Jonathan Rosenbaum of Chicago Reader.
Do the voice.
The Pits. Bob Thomas of Associated Press.
You did do the voice. Wow, for the first time ever.
Climax follows climax until the weary viewer wants to cry, "Stop already!"
Also, future callback, that happens.
Oh.
There is a scene where there is.
Same note too. Owen McNally of Hartford Current. Very early on, this defective dramatic vehicle runs out of fuel. degenerates into a slasher/Hellraiser wannabe and self-destructs among explosions, flames, and streams of blood. Paul Tatara of CNN.com. Don't worry, it's not you. It really doesn't make any sense. It made perfect sense to me. I don't think it's complicated.
Yeah, it wasn't complicated.
Robert Wolonsky of Dallas Observer.
Wilonsky or Wononsky? That's for God Bless Football.
In space, apparently, no one can hear you direct.
Oh, shots fired.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Got his ass.
Jules Brenner of Cinema Signals.
Jules Brenner.
High-tech ghost story
One night in Bangkok.
takes a grip until credibility goes into orbit. David Keyes of cinemaphile.org.
Cinemaphile.
If I were a psychologist hired to analyze the people who made this, I would conclude that everyone involved need to take their inner child out back and shoot it. Seems aggressive.
Zach Harper, ladies and gentlemen.
What?
Is nom de plume.
How did I get roped into that?
You hate the child.
Yeah, I just hate kids that aren't related to me.
There you go.
You hate the Childs.
The Childs. Not Chris Childs. Love Chris Childs. We will bring on Pockets Graham back after these pre-recorded messages.
Listener, what's up? Zach Harper coming to you live from Just Making My Picks on Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. For my money and your money, the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. Again, that's daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers instead of battling thousands of players, including like pros and sharks, those people that really try to game the system and screw you over. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections and watch the winnings roll in. Basketball's here, right? So check this out. This is the cool thing that I love from Prize Picks. You can now pick combo projections across football and basketball from the Specials League, a league created specifically for combo projections that includes 2 or more players from different sports and leagues. So if you want to do like more Patrick Mahomes yards and less James Harden points, you can do that. You can do that combination. You can do any combination that they have on there. You just go to the Specials League. You want to play alongside people. Maybe you don't want to go it alone. Maybe you want to play alongside people. You can go to, I don't know, Meek Mill, Andrew Schultz. You find them in the community plays under the promos tab of the app to view entries from some of the biggest names in the Prize Picks community each week. And best of all, Prize Picks even offers a reboot policy so your entries stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. For football and basketball games, if you have the player who exits the game in the first half and does not return in the second, that player is rebooted. Prize Picks, the only daily fantasy sports platform with an injury insurance policy. So I'll tell you what you do. You go to prizepicks.com/ding and use the promo code DING, D-I-N-G, for a first deposit match up to $100. Let me say that again for you. You go to prizepicks.com/ding. You use the code DING, D-I-N-G, for a first deposit match up to $100 from our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks, daily fantasy sports made easy.
I have a theory, Pockets. I don't think you're actually friends with Amin, and that's not a shot at you. I just think he's overstating your guys' relationship. So it's more just a questioning of him.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Just a quick blow by blow. I met Amin in front of the Comedy Cellar. I'm mistaking him for Bomani Jones.
That'll happen, yeah. Oh, man, I love your HBO show. And then he's like, yeah. He just went with it. He's like, call me Amin. I'm Bomani, but call me Amin.
I thought he meant the Chris Rock show. I was like, oh, shit.
What a journey to get here. I've gone through 4 Lawrence Fishburne movies to get here.
Oh, yeah. Let's get your quick thoughts on Fled. Yeah. You like it? You don't like it?
Not a good movie, man. Not a good movie.
It's rough.
Damn.
It actually made me question if Lawrence Fishburne is a good actor, which put me on the road to watching other Lawrence Fishburne movies.
Whoa!
It spurred Amin to buy a harmonica.
That harmonica is so upsetting. No!
Hey!
Sounds like shit.
Means a real blues traveler, you know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's the next step. Is I'm gonna get that cradle shit that holds it.
The rig.
Why?
Amin's next career is going to be teaching white boys how to run in pace with a harmonica.
Rhythm.
I got your rhythm right here.
Pockets, have you either seen or heard of Event Horizon before?
Of course. I'm a big movie fan, bro. And it's the early Paul W.S. Anderson movie.
Well, Amin thought that was Paul Thomas Anderson at first, so he was confused.
I was like, oh, this might be a good one.
They came up around the same time, and Paul W.S. Anderson owns the Paul Anderson name in the Directors Guild, and Paul Thomas Anderson owns the Paul Anderson name in the Writers Guild.
Interesting.
So because he directed this movie, that's why in the credits it says Paul Anderson.
Paul Thomas Anderson is married to Maya Rudolph?
Yes.
And Paul W.S. Anderson is married to Mila Jovovich.
Doing well for themselves, the Andersons.
Should have been named Paul Anderson.
The Andersons got tickets to the game? How'd they get tickets to the game? Y'all remember that?
Thanks for bringing that back.
Is that still a relevant commercial?
Not needed at all.
Because they got game.
Welcome to Cinephobe 8 years ago. We're joined now, comedian Pockets Anderson. Paul Thomas Pockets Anderson. Leave all that in. Pockets Graham Anderson, as they call
Hey, guys, don't tell them about full government.
Thanks for joining us. A legend friend of Amin Elhassan. I still don't believe Amin. I believe your story. I just don't believe Amin has friends, really.
I'm out here, man.
I know that you're out here. I just don't think you have actual friends. I've hung out with. I just don't see it.
He had some black guy with him that was rather funny that night.
When's the last time you watched this movie?
Honestly, the last time I watched Event Horizon was probably 2000, 2001.
A Space Odyssey.
I remember renting it from Blockbuster and then bought it on DVD at one point in the early 2000s. So that's probably the last time I watched it. Maze, had you seen it?
I had not seen it before, and I nearly picked this movie, but ended up choosing Suburban Commando last year. And then it was referenced in Thor Love and Thunder.
Hi. Hi. How's the Einstein-Rosen bridge?
It's tough.
Yeah.
Really tough.
It's you need a 3D model. You ever see Event Horizon?
No.
Interstellar?
No.
That movie explains everything really clearly. All right, the Einstein-Rosen bridge folds space so that point A and point B coexist in space and time. Like that.
You just ruined your own book.
Yeah, but now you understand wormholes.
Oh.
Watch those movies.
Okay.
And I felt like I had made a huge mistake.
Going with Suburban Commando over Event Horizon?
Yes. Well, I felt like I had made a huge mistake after watching Suburban Commando. I felt like I had made an even huger mistake after the Thor Love and Thunder call out.
I just have to add one quick correction. I am no longer a stand-up comedian. I haven't been on stage in 4 years. I am now a writer-director.
That's great. I mean, I think that's the move. It's clearly not that hard to write or direct.
No.
I don't think anyone really struggles with it. I think it's pretty easy at this point.
You might know my writing credits. I wrote this movie called Fled.
Oh, shit. Change me to a file in the spreadsheet, Mace.
Shake his hand, Zach, the man who came up with the line, come on, we got a Fled.
Let's get into this movie. Amin, what is your first note?
First note. Once again, I have no idea what this movie is about going in, but these drums certainly are aggressive, though. The little drums in the beginning.
Super dramatic music. Pockets, you have a first note for us.
My first note is the realization that the Paramount logo's fanfare is dog shit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, because they don't do it anymore.
I love the Paramount logo, but as the fanfare started playing, I was like, is this the soundtrack to the movie? And then it stopped, and then the actual soundtrack, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even remember, because it's not classic. Not like the Fox fanfare. It's not like Disney's fanfare, even Warner Brothers.
You're right. It used to be just like everyone else is like Universal, and everybody would have that little music to start. And it was so trash. Now Paramount doesn't do it for any movies.
Right, because they didn't do it for Top Gun Maverick. You hear jets.
No, you probably hear Kenny Loggins coming real hot over the top.
Honestly, it should just be Kenny Loggins for their fanfare the whole time, no matter what the movie is. My first note, is that a black hole? Clip it, Maze. Olden Polonies. Eddie.
Hey, Patton, pass the ball. What are you, the black hole of basketball? Come on!
You gonna let her call you a black hole?
Man, a hole, not a hole, a black hole.
What's a black hole?
A black hole is a theoretical object in space. It is so dense that matter collapses, and light itself cannot escape.
He gave us exposition just like we're about to get a lot of exposition in this movie.
95-minute movie, 2 minutes of space credits.
Mm-hmm.
They really waste a lot of time in this. and they don't have a lot of it. We get some texposition to start off. 2015, first permanent colony established on Moon.
So ambitious.
2032, commercial mining begins on Mars. Although, is this kind of like typewrite's position? Because it is going across.
It's getting typed out on a computer, was my thought.
2040, deep space research vessel Event Horizon launched to explore boundaries of solar system.
They typed it.
2047. Now.
I wondered, is this movie just text and bleeding eyes? Am I too soon? All I remembered about the movie was bleeding eye.
I said, I wonder if Zach will appreciate them letting us know that 2047 is now.
I love that. Spoiler alert, I like at the end when it just says the end.
Oh,
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was so pissed. I was like, what?
I'm surprised it didn't say Finn at the end.
She disappears without trace beyond the 8th planet Neptune. It is the worst space disaster on record. And then, as Pocket said, 2047 now. We built this asteroid, boys, by the way. We built this asteroid on CGI. Oh, my God.
Only CGI.
They should have just thrown a rock at the camera and said, that's the asteroid.
And shot it in slow motion. It would have been so much better.
We've got plenty of slow motion on the way. We don't have to request that. The CGI of the asteroid, not so bad. The CGI of the objects inside the spaceship, however.
Oh, my God.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Everything floating. We got a water bottle. We got a book.
The watch.
I think the invention of the iPad or the Surface.
Yeah, there's tablets in this movie.
We see a body floating, screaming as it zooms in on a cut up body. We go into the sockets and come out of Sam Neill's eyes. He was dreaming. Alarm goes off. Did he dream all that text too, or is that for us?
No, you dreamt the text, bro.
He's looking at a picture of his wife. And he says, I miss you. He's shaving. There's slow motion dripping. He goes back to shaving.
He's got a lot of photos of her. He's definitely got a shrine going.
You think he has different pics that he beats his meat to?
Of course.
Like this is like depending on the mood, like, oh yeah, this is the one right here.
You don't?
I'm not jerking off the pictures like a caveman.
His room looks half modern hotel, half insane asylum. It's got the padded walls for some reason.
And then on the zoom out of the structure, is he allowed to move around? Is he trapped in that capsule?
It's a great question.
Because it doesn't seem like...
I did for a second misremember. I'm like, wait, is he a prisoner at this point? It feels like he's a prisoner at this point.
Well,
it's a nice prison, but it feels like a prison.
His name, rank, and ID are printed on his shirt.
That was boss.
I mean, that's what you do in 2047.
And yes, the zoom out shot that you're describing, Pockets, as it slowly twists to reveal that he's in a space station, this shot took nearly a third of the film's visual effects budget and 10 weeks to produce.
10 weeks?
10 weeks. It's 45 seconds.
You know why it took so long? They had to do the computer math to figure out what a Dutch angle was.
We get a bit of a jump scare as they open that vent suddenly. Daylight station, low Earth orbit. Cut to another ship. USAC vessel, Lewis and Clark. Category, search and rescue. Mission, top secret. Why do you say that to the audience? Why? What the fuck? You're not keeping it from us. We're about to watch it. It's not top secret. You're showing it to us.
We're actively in the mission, guys.
Right. Yeah.
The name of the ship is the Lewis and Clark. And I said in 2047, no one is going to give a fuck about Lewis and Clark. Hell, it's 2023. Nobody gives a fuck about Lewis and Clark. That shit's going to be called the Elon and Zuckerberg or some shit like that.
Pilot exposition lets us know they haven't gotten anything in 6 weeks and now they're headed into lockdown. Ask the captain why they can't go to Mars.
I mean, Mars has got women.
Mars has hoes? That's my question right there.
No, Mars has moms, bro.
Moms?
Reference.
What do we do? What?
Joelia agrees. Neptune, there's no hoes out there. Why go there?
Captain Fishburne turns around slowly. I love that fucking captain's chair.
It's obnoxious.
It's just kind of suspended. It's a dope chair, man. It's great.
Yeah, it's hanging from the ceiling. It's slowly moving into the frame. It slowly turns. You know the rules, people. Someone drops the ball, we get the call.
If you watch the movie as a prequel to The Matrix, this is what Morpheus was doing before he got to The Matrix.
Oh, I like that. That's a good theory. And then he just became Morpheus for the rest of the time. No matter what he does, interview, movie, he's in John Wick, he's Morpheus. Everything's the same thing.
That would be one hell of a piece of performance art if Lawrence Fishburne's entire acting career, he was really the same character.
Yeah.
In all these movies.
Worked for George Clooney. Course is plotted in, locked and cocked and ready to rock. Blind Wire who I call Mr. Justin.
Blind Wire.
Blind Wire.
The Mr. Justin thing really threw me off.
It's so stupid.
Is Justin his last name?
It makes him sound like a porn star.
I'm Mr. Justin.
Mr. Justin says everything's green on his screen. Captain Miller makes the round, sees Cooper, and says Ion Drive in 10 minutes.
Fist bumps him. Ooh, it's time to play Spam in a Can.
I don't understand what that means. I'm with it.
Zippity doo-dah.
Dr. Sam Neill tries to tell Captain Miller something, and he just interrupts. Clock's ticking, Doctor. Follow the rest of the crew to the grav tanks. Guys, I think that means gravity. Shorthand.
Kathleen's loading CO2 scrubbers. Then she gives him exposition on the grav couch.
Sam says he thinks the captain has a problem with them, and she makes it known that he doesn't like strangers on his ship.
Sarcastically.
Sam Neill has a serious dad bod going here, and they're trying to like hike up his waistband.
I have this note in a little bit. He's got a weird torso. It's very ribby.
This is the first time I've ever seen my brother without his shirt on.
Oh, yeah.
This might be the only time we've ever seen Sam Neill without his shirt on.
I think so. Someone's smoking in a space station.
Yeah, Jason Isaacs.
I'm not a physicist, but I don't think you could do that.
It's the 90s. That's all I got.
It's the 90s, bro.
This was an incorrect vision of the future.
So what we need is a smoking role model, a real winner.
Indiana Jones meets Jerry Maguire.
Right, on 2 packs a day.
Only he can't live in contemporary society.
Why not?
The health issue is way too prevalent. People would constantly be asking the character why he's smoking. And that should go unsaid. How do you feel about the future?
The future?
Yeah, after the health thing's blown over. A world where smokers and non-smokers live together in perfect harmony. Sony has a futuristic sci-fi movie they're looking to make. Message from Sector 6. All takes place in a space station. They're actively looking for some co-financing.
So cigarettes in space.
It's the final frontier, Nick.
Yeah, but wouldn't they blow up in an all-oxygen environment?
Probably. But it's an easy fix. One line of dialogue. Thank God we invented the, whatever device.
DJ gives him an injection in his neck.
They're about to take 30 G's without a tank. The force would liquefy your skeleton.
Can you feel the tension in the air right now?
Dr. Sam's seen that on mice. He's claustrophobic. And we're all in the tanks, 56 days out. I thought it was the Death Star at first. I thought, Amin's going to come himself over this.
Unfortunately not.
That's a shame. Sam's in the grav tank. He wakes up when he hears someone say, Billy. They're submerged in liquid. Why are they wearing underwear?
Because they can afford to pay them to be butt naked.
That's going to create mildew.
Yeah, but have you seen his torso?
It's futuristic cotton from the space colony on the moon, Zach.
That's true, yeah.
It's water resistant.
Once this invention's big enough, I'm going to buy my old company and make the dress code be a big wet diaper.
Who's supposed to wake them up, by the way?
The ship itself would wake it up.
Have you not seen Passengers?
Exactly.
That was nearly a pick, Zach. That was eligible. But that movie's awful.
Yeah, that movie is not good.
Yeah, no. Chris Pratt wakes up, opens all their tanks.
He's the only one awake. The tank empties out the liquid. Now he's walking around. This is where I noticed his weird torso. Kind of looked like Golick Jr. wearing those shapers the other day. I guess it was a couple weeks ago now. He hears a voice say, I'm so alone.
So alone.
Hello, is anyone there? And then at this point, I noticed his torso was less ribby. And I thought, are these different days of filming? Was he doing sit-ups? Very distracted by this whole thing.
Maybe he wasn't dripping wet anymore.
Someone says, Billy, I'm so cold. He turns the chair around and it's someone named Claire. Someone touches his shoulder.
It's his naked wife with their eyes closed.
From the beginning of the movie.
Now when she opens her eyes, no eyeballs.
I'm waiting.
And that's when I wrote, I'm trying to give this movie a fair shake, but I can't help but think 10 minutes and 37 seconds in, Maze has picked another fucking awful movie.
Oh, that's you giving it a fair shake. Got it.
I tried, man.
Because your movies have been so good lately.
Mine have been on fire. What are you talking about? Ice Road.
It's not your disability. It's your freaking attitude.
One that Zach won't say the name of.
What?
That wasn't a mean pick.
I'll say the Ice Road.
No, not that one.
Sam wakes up in the tank. Mouthpiece not in. Banging on the glass. Still immersed in some kind of liquid. It empties. Peters is there to help him out. Everybody's already out. DJ says, nice and slow. You've been in stasis for 56 days.
Did they say stasis a lot in this movie?
Yeah, it's a lot of Brits. Cooper offers him some coffee, then turns to a woman named Stark and says,
What about you, Stark? Would you like something hot and black inside you? Oh, is that an offer?
It is not.
Then how about some coffee then?
Golden Dumpster nominee.
Good 90s harassment.
Back when harassment was just fun for everybody.
Oh, this is... Very 20 CB.
Cooper is bringing all of the banter on the ship. That's his role in the crew.
Oh, he's a banter machine. Yeah.
Cooper is like the other village king in Black Panther, where he's like, oh, he has so much charisma.
M'Baku.
Why is her name spelled Stark? Starck? That really bothered me.
Dude, I don't know. I don't care because I wrote Stark like John Starks the whole time, man. I was like, fuck you. Who are you to have a different spelling?
Peters is watching videos of some stupid kid who wants to play horsey.
Denny.
Hold on.
Is Denny in a wheelchair?
Great question. I wondered if something was off.
Spoiler alert, he is.
He's not later in the movie.
My note, play horsey, mommy, kazoo.
They did have iPads, which I was surprised by.
I think that's where Steve Jobs got it, was from Event Horizon.
What a fraud.
Captain tells her he couldn't find a replacement for her on such short notice. She talked to her ex. He's going to take Denny for Christmas. Essentially, she's divorced.
Yep.
And it's not her ex-husband she's talking about. It's her exposition.
Get her backstory all in real quick. They'll be in the orbit of Neptune in 2 hours, 23 minutes. Everything's 5 by 5.
What is 5 by 5? They keep saying that in this fucking movie, and it really bothered me.
Everything's 5 by 5, Zach.
What does that mean?
I think it means like, yo, get your shit together.
No, I think it means everything's good.
Spam in a can, Zach.
Everything's green on my screen. Everyone's been notified of their position.
He introduces Dr. Weir to the crew.
Introductions all around. This is my XO, Lieutenant Stark. Mr. Justin, engineering. The funky spaceman over here is Mr. Cooper. What exactly is it you do on board this ship, Coop?
Listen up, Doc. I'm your best friend, okay? I'm the lifesaver and the heartbreaker.
He's a rescue technician. This is Peters, medical technician, and my pilot, Mr. Smith. The gloomy Gus in the corner over there, that's,
TJ. Trauma.
The fact that he introduces them before they go into the bath, into the tubes, is fucking hilarious. All right, now explain to me what we're doing here.
No, get your ass to the fucking grav couch.
We don't have time to do this right now. We'll do it after.
I also thought DJ was saying his name was DJ Trauma, not that he handles trauma.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought DJ Trauma's a dope fucking DJ name.
I think it's taken.
Yeah, it probably is. But I was like, that's a great DJ name.
No. That's Drama. Completely different DJ. I'm Trauma with a T. I also like the idea of having the intros afterward, and the guy says, yeah, I'm the mechanic. Like, you told me you were the ship gynecologist.
Coop's got a question for the captain. What are they doing out there? He'll have the doctor tell them.
Weir starts saying how he appreciates them, and Fishburne cuts him off. We don't. We were taken off a well-deserved leave and sent into Neptune space. We are now 3 billion clicks from the nearest outpost.
Oh, I love a click.
Last time a rescue attempt was made this far out, they lost both ships.
Ass off for Fishburne here. He's pissed.
Everything Weir is about to say is considered code black nut by the NSA.
I thought the NSA is still kicking, huh?
Yep.
2047?
Mm-hmm.
I have to say about Lawrence Fishburne, this would be the 4th movie I watched leading up to this of him. He kind of has like a profile of the shaved lion that walks on 2 feet.
Okay, I can see this.
Yo, that's money.
His head is always pushed forward. You notice that?
Yeah.
He needs to see a chiropractor.
It's very lion of him. Like, it's very Mustafa of him, if not Scar.
He's also someone who wants to be clean shaven, but clearly that's not the life for you, bro.
Can't do it. Yeah. There's an ingrown hair issue. You got to have a little bit.
He got crater face, coffee cake face.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, have you guys ever seen Homer Simpson try to shave?
Oh, it just grows back.
That's what his face looks like. Permanently trying to pop back.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things of shaving every day when it takes a toll on your face, which I haven't experienced. I haven't seen my chin in 18 years.
I think 2009 is the last time I was clean shaven.
You went no mustache, nothing?
Yeah, I went completely clean shaven at one point, but there was a while. I mean, it was the mid 2000s. I'm not proud of this. It was just chin hair, no mustache.
MTV was a channel.
It comes for all of us at some point. I got out of cargo pants way early.
Oh, man.
I knew those weren't for me.
I held on for dear life.
I'm still in cargo pants. My name is Pockets, man.
Do you just feel like you have to have pockets at all?
Cargo vest, cargo shorts,
fanny pack.
No, at a time I abandoned it because it felt so gimmicky. It's like that motherfucker that would walk around juggling just because they know how to.
My name is Juggles Graham.
So I stopped doing it, but then something about the utility of it was like, I need to get back to this.
You must have really appreciated when Lawrence Fishburne reached into his forearm to get smelling salts later in this movie.
That was great. They got a transmission identified as Event Horizon.
Ah! You said it. And everyone looks alarmed. Smitty calls it bullshit.
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 Everybody's mad. Skipper, you took me off leave for this. Captain Miller tells everyone to sit down. Let the man speak.
A lot of jargon exposition coming up here, guys.
Reactor went critical. Ship blew up. None of that story is true. It was a culmination of a secret government project to create a spacecraft capable of faster than light flight.
Can't actually do that. It's not possible.
The law of relativity prohibits faster than light travel. He says relativity, yes. We can't break the law of relativity. We can go around it.
And now here comes the only way movies have ever explained how to do faster than light travel in every movie ever made.
But this was first.
If you say we can't break it, but we can go around it, motherfucker, that's breaking it.
That is definitely breaking it.
That's what it is.
That's not bending space, motherfucker.
No. You broke it.
Zach, I didn't lie.
We didn't break relativity.
Ship doesn't really go faster than light. What it does is it creates a dimensional gateway that allows it to jump instantaneously from one point of the universe to another light years away.
How?
Well, it's difficult to... It's all math.
Try us, Doctor.
Right, well, using layman's terms, use a rotating magnetic field to focus a narrow beam of gravitons. These, in turn, fold space-time consistent with Weyl tensor dynamics until the space-time curvature becomes infinitely large and you produce a singularity. Now, a singularity...
Layman's terms.
Well, fuck layman's terms. Do you speak English?
Does anyone have a piece of paper and a pen handy right now?
I got you.
He grabs one of Smitty's pinup girls. That's Vanessa.
Not Vanessa.
How do you get from one hole to the other hole? We're going to bend it. Can't find this other hole.
Hey.
Always a problem.
What's the shortest distance between 2 points? A straight line. Everybody laughs. Wrong.
They all laugh at him like, you fucking idiot.
Stupid fuck.
But that is actually what it is.
Shortest distance is 0. Fold space so that point A and point B coexist in the same space and time. And space returns to normal after you push the pen through the paper to represent the spaceship. It's called the gravity drive.
He knows it because he built it.
Well, I can see why they sent you.
By the way, the pinup girl, 0 cheeks. I mean, I was like, come on, man.
How could you tell it was a piece of paper and she was facing forward?
He can always tell.
Experience.
All right.
Blindwire then wants to know what happened if the ship didn't blow up. Doc says the mission was going perfectly. Textbook. They reached safe distance using conventional thrusters. All system looked good. Had the go-ahead to use it, and then disappeared without a trace. Said it.
Until now.
So it did its fucking job, right?
Exactly.
Did its fucking job.
How would they know if it made it to Alpha Centauri or not? Or Proxima Centauri? That's pretty fucking far away.
They're going to find out where they've been for the last 7 years. They received a single transmission, and it is just a fuck ton of screaming and sounding like demons.
Screaming, space roars, and then...
But shout out to how everyone was sitting in the scene.
We're sitting around a conference table, and then we cut to a loading bay, and everybody's standing around.
We hear a man's voice. DJ says it sounds like Latin. Liberate me.
Because Houston had to pass it through several filters and fix the podcast audio.
These dumb fucks couldn't figure out what liberate me could mean.
That's the easy one.
Well, fuck, I know that. That's not that hard to do the math on that one. Save me.
They said save me, and I said same note too, bro.
Liberate me.
Anthony May.
Alarm goes off. Everyone to their stations. They're approaching the hole.
Directional jargon, vector degrees. Coming in for some heavy chop.
Is there a storm in space?
Bro, this was the most upsetting fucking thing.
Neptune.
Wait, is it hovering above Neptune or is it in the atmosphere of Neptune? Because later, when our favorite character, fucking Mara Chestnut, has to make it back, I'm like, where's he going?
It's a storm. So I thought, oh, they went into the atmosphere, but then every shot, they're outside the planet. I'm like, what the fuck's happening?
That shit is storming, bro.
They're smoking in space stations. There's storms in fucking outer space. What's happening here?
You see the little swirl on Neptune, and I said they're approaching Neptune, but it looks like they're coming near Uranus.
Ding.
I hate you. They're closing in. They're getting too close. Proximity warnings going off. It's right in front of them. And then out of nowhere, they hit the reverse thrusters, and Sam Neill, all time at looking at something and being amazed. Just like when he saw the Brontosaurus in Jurassic Park for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He takes his hat off and he stand up like that.
He has Spielberg shock face.
He does. That's a great call.
That means something different in some places.
This is a massive fucking ship.
It's huge. I couldn't believe how much bigger it was than the goddamn Lewis and Clark.
I love that it's a physical model. So when you're looking at it, you get to appreciate it. They did all the little thingy thing stuff.
It's fucking Legos. Yeah. Sam Neill aroused by this ship.
He's proud of his phallic-shaped spaceship.
He is horny.
Sam Neill, he does two things phenomenally well. He gives science exposition that no one else can really understand, and he reacts to things that don't really exist.
We get them attaching to a load-bearing structure cluster of antennas. Everything 5x5. Please stop saying this.
Once they connect, Captain says, light them if you got them.
They just start smoking again.
It might be my favorite line delivery in Lawrence Fishburne's entire career. Because it made me light a cigarette in my chair. I was like, oh shit, you right.
I do want to note that Lawrence Fishburne is phenomenal at sounding like a captain giving orders.
Oh,
Dude.
I have this note at some point. He says someone's rank perfectly. I believe he's in charge.
He has the sound of a man with authority.
For sure.
Like Pocket said, he says, smoke him if you got him, but you start fumbling around trying to find something to light on fire.
Stark says reactor's still hot, small radiation sources, no leaks, nothing serious, hull intact, no gravity, thermal units offline, showing deep cold. Couldn't survive in that.
She's doing a bioscan, but there's something wrong with it. She's picking up trace life forms, but can't get a trace on their location. It's all over the ship. It doesn't make sense.
So guys, in your opinion, what is this ship filled with?
Ghosts.
Demons, it's ghosts, ghouls, I don't know.
Mind goblins?
It's a ghost ship.
Ghost ship file.
I think it tapped into the Hellraiser franchise.
Yeah, it's filled with Hellraiser movies. That's what it's filled with. They're going to do it the hard way. Deck by deck, room by room.
Woohoo.
Deploy the umbilicus.
Oh my God.
Umbilicus? What the fuck? And then this penis bridge starts emerging from the ship.
Yo, this penis bridge is horny.
I'm so mad I Googled that shit. I was like, what is an umbilicus?
I don't think it's a word, bro.
I'm with Pockets.
No, it's not.
It is. It's like your umbilical cord, though.
No. That's what you're inferring from with the word they made up.
Yes.
It is an umbilical cord going from this ship to that ship, right? But to call it an umbilicus.
Fire up the boards in the war room.
Captain wants the doctor to stay on bridge. I didn't come all this way to sit on your bridge. Once they secure the ship, they're going to bring him on board. That's unacceptable to him, but that's the way it is. He'll guide them from the comm station, help them do their job. Blindwire is in a massive suit, and he has a big metal briefcase that I'm pretty sure the Jordan 17s came in.
Honey, you forgot your briefcase. Yo, baby bear, keep your nose clean.
Were they saying baby bear, mama bear before we got here, yo?
No.
Why is everyone using this?
It's all they say. All right, it's the captain, it's Blindwire, and it's Peters doing the walk. Everybody else is on comms. They've got magnetic boots, ice crystals everywhere. Blindwire's going to go to engineering. Peters and the captain will go to the other end, and they notice explosive devices everywhere.
There's also CGI tools floating around in the air.
Shout out to the original idea of splitting up as soon as you get in the ship.
Yep, got to.
No one even makes a question. It's like, maybe we shouldn't. Everyone just goes, yeah, cool. Fucking Frankie boy, baby bear, this nigga, go.
The explosives could split the ship in half, and this is important exposition for later.
Will that come back at some point in this movie? That the crew can use the foredeck as a lifeboat?
Chekhov's explosives.
Captain Miller is in medical facility. No casualties. Place looks like it's never been used. And I love this question. Still haven't seen any crew? The doctor, Sam Neill, says that. He says, if we saw any crew, you'd know it by now. Yeah. What a dumb fucking question. Why would they keep that from anybody?
His flashlight is doing some pretty sick light show rave flashes to scan for life.
Absolutely.
This was definitely stolen for every DJ of the late 2010s.
DJ Trauma. Lawrence Fishburne says,
this place is a tomb.
Gridline.
And just then, a hand touches his helmet and it scares the fuck out of him.
Oh, fuck me! It's a floating hand!
That's a Golden Dumpster nominee, is him getting scared as shit.
Not so tough after all that shit you was talking, Fish.
Looks like Skipper got a case of the Willies. Willies, 20 CB.
Cooper, get back to your post. I thought, racist. Why is he getting thrown back there? Blindwire reaches the door to the first containment. Engineering decks are on the other side, and it's this crazy spinning tunnel room.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is it? It allows you to enter the second containment without compromising the magnetic fields.
Looks like a meat grinder to me.
It looks like the inside of a trash compactor or like a trash disposal.
I thought it looked like some sadomasochist fleshlight.
Yeah, it also looked like that. I'm not going to take that away from you.
You don't want to stick your umbilicus in there, Zach, is what you're saying?
No, I sure don't. I'm not even going to look it up. Peters has entered the bridge of the event horizon. She sees blood on the console, but what she doesn't see is this fucking murder factory behind her where there's guts and tendons and meat.
Oh, wait, you mean that murder factory that was lit by lightning?
Well, the storm in space pockets, you got to remember.
The space storm.
The storm in space.
Flywire reaches the second containment. Coolant leak. There's CGI bubbles everywhere.
Bubble bath.
Back to the bridge. Peter's walking around. Sam's directing her to the ship's log.
Tells her to turn back and to the left.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
They're still using CD technology in 2047. They didn't anticipate.
The CD gets stuck too. She yanks it free, and when she does, she comes face to face with the floating corpse.
And what a corpse it is.
It is. It's a great Hellraiser corpse.
It's all scratched up. It's got missing eyes.
Isn't it amazing that they foretold the iPad by a strong decade and a half?
Steve Martin.
But they think we're still using CDs, yeah? Okay.
We've brought that up 3 times already.
Okay.
At least it wasn't a floppy drive. I mean,
that's true.
I couldn't have taken that.
Oh God, I wish it was a floppy disk, man.
It was like 24 CD players glued together.
Yeah.
And the CD kit. This is the data. I was like, oh, look at this. Oh, high five.
What the hell happened to his eyes? Explosive decompression. Those are 2 words that don't go together.
That doesn't happen in space.
No.
DJ thinks it was caused by an animal.
Peters just says, Corpsicle. Golden dumpster.
Rob Schneider did that?
Blindwire is scanning the engineering decks for life forms. Man, I'm getting some really strange readings in here.
Yoinks.
We see the massive spinning orb, the core gravity drive, the heart of the ship.
And he delivers such a shit-eating grin when he says that. He's so proud of himself.
He stops in front of it. They lose the comms. It opens up. A light blinds him. Then it goes away. There's this liquid wall, and his bingo ass thinks, oh, I'll touch that.
Oh, no. He was being a good anthropologist. He's like, I'm going to touch this foreign thing in space.
Is that what he is?
Is anthropologist a fancy word for white?
Yes.
Because he's just being like a white person, just touching things that you shouldn't.
Only white people can be anthropologists. Don't you know that, Amy?
That's a good point.
Well, they only let white people shop at Anthropology, so that makes sense.
That's a good point too. He's completely ass on when he goes,
so ass on. Mr. Justin.
Fucking terrible.
He gets sucked into a David Guetta show.
So this record is in honor of George Floyd. And I really hope we can see more unity and more peace when already things are so difficult. So, shout out to his family.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream.
Puts his whole hand through the liquidy dark surface to get stuck. He's yanked in, and we see a cable rapidly unspooling as Winch Month continues on Cinephobe.
Winch Month, yeah.
We love a winch.
Coop, go get him. I'm gone.
Yo, Coop is the best character.
That's a real one, man.
Coop does everything he's supposed to do.
Coop's a real one.
The gravity drive farts out a shockwave of energy that pushes everything back. It blows the door off the medical bay, knocks the captain back into some glass that shatters. Papers are flying all over. He falls down.
The Lewis and Clark gets smacked.
Sparks everywhere on the bridge. Smitty dives with the cigarette still in his mouth.
All these cum globules flying through.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is in slow motion.
I loved when the 3D whack water turned into actual water. I was like, oh, that's great. That's actually a cool effect.
Yeah, man. Gravity, motherfucker. They're putting out fires while Stark is putting out some jargon. The hole's been breached. Smith's going to try to contain it. They're losing atmosphere. Coop's already down to the second containment. He yells, hold on, baby bear.
Right when he gets close, Justin's corpse comes flying out. They tumble in zero gravity. And I definitely thought they were going to get impaled on one of these massive spikes.
Oh, I did too. Yeah. They finally get comms back. Gas is low. Oxygen tank's broken. They're fucked.
Smitty, where you been all my life?
Sam suggests they go to the Event Horizon. She's got air and power. It's our only chance.
Smitty is against it from Jump Street. There's no way I'm getting on that bastard.
Smitty's out.
I ain't going over there.
It beats dying, Mr. Smith.
Captain Miller calls all the people on board the Event Horizon. Peter brings gravity to the ship, and that corpsicle falls to the ground and shatters
into a million pieces with all this red dust everywhere. I think it's supposed to be blood.
Very T2 of it.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't understand where the storm is outside the ship in space.
Doesn't matter.
Sam brought most of the primary systems online, but no radio, no laser, no high gain. Nobody's going to come to help them. We got some CO2 jargon going through. They got to get the scrubbers from the Clark. They have 20 hours of breathable air.
20 hours?
20 hours.
Damn. 4 hours short.
I like the countdown.
I love a countdown.
Lawrence Fishburne is like a good assistant director. He's like, we got 4 hours until lunch.
Smitty's doing a spacewalk on the outside of their ship, 7-meter fracture on the outer hull. They're like, what happened here, Doctor? When they see the massacre inside the bridge of the Event Horizon, he just doesn't say shit.
Nope, not gonna say shit. In the med bay, Peters and DJ are checking on Justin.
It's like a real bingo.
He's unresponsive to stimuli. He might wake up in 15 minutes. Might not wake up at all.
Cooper's trying to explain what happened.
Look, Skip, I know this shit sounds weird, but I mean, it was like nothing. And then Justin appeared and it was liquid and the whole cords turned south.
It's just not physically possible.
Doctor, please, don't start in with that physics shit. I'm telling you, I saw it.
Mr. Cooper, it would mean the gateway was open.
Well, then that's it. That's the gateway was open. That's
the gateway couldn't be open because the gravity drive wasn't activated.
Look, I'm telling you what I saw, Doc. So the fuck up. Nobody's talking
by itself.
Mr. Cooper, you are out of line.
Captain says Mr. Justin may die, and he has to assume that could happen to all of them. He believes Cooper saw something and needs an explanation. But Doc says Cooper's delusional. In order to soften the blow, he gently touches his arm. Cooper looks at that gesture with absolute disgust.
Richard T. Jones is ass off here.
All the way off. The look.
It's the most offensive thing he could do besides bring up science.
Maybe he saw an optical effect caused by gravitational distortion, and Coop goes, an optical effect? That's fucking poetic. Where the fuck?
Cooper!
I remember that line.
Sam Neill takes us to fucking Jargon City, population us. He doesn't think it's likely.
Exposition lecture is what I called it.
Somehow a burst of gravity waves escaped from the core. You mean like that fart we saw? It could distort space and time, make Justin seem to disappear.
What's in the core?
It's complicated.
Well, you got 17 hours and 48 minutes. Fucking explain it, bitch.
It's already been almost 2.5 hours.
It's like an episode of Cinephobe. Has passed.
Doc takes everyone in to show them the core. This is the gateway. When the 3 magnetic rings align, it creates an artificial black hole.
He's definitely jacked off to this thing before, right?
Yeah, but that room is really horny.
That room's super horny.
It's more spiky than horny, but I hear you.
It's definitely dominatrix designed, right?
Mm-hmm.
The texture, the
consistency. It's definitely coming there.
He's jizzed into that black hole.
Oh, that's where the liquid wall came from. It's just decayed jizz from a black hole.
All of his cum is coming back up.
With demons.
A black hole, the most destructive force in the universe, and you've created one.
Yeah, of course I did.
Absolutely, yes, because we can use that immense power to bend space-time.
We get a fuck ton of recaps position here, double elimination style.
Same note too. Gateway can't just open by itself. Cap wants the room sealed off, but Doc insists that it's perfectly safe. Safe? My ship is in pieces, and one of my crewmen may not make it home alive. No one else goes near this thing.
So if Mr. Justin was sucked through your gateway, you hit that sucked real hard there.
Super.
You could have gone wherever the Event Horizon's been. Theoretically, yes, but the gateway can't open by itself. Sam keeps saying no danger. They're perfectly safe. Peters is working on blind wire. She hears a noise. She thinks it's DJ. She hears more noises. There's something inside a green tent. Why walk over there?
She grabs a big surgical knife that Jason X would have liked.
Pulls back the tent, and her stupid kid's in there.
Denny!
From the beginning of the movie!
From the iPad.
And the camera slowly pans down to reveal wounds on his legs.
She's very ass on in this scene, by the way.
Yeah, she's not very good here. DJ walks up from behind her. She screams. She looks back. The kid's not there. We get some banter between Smitty and Cooper about a record for spacewalk. Smitty says, I'd rather spend the next 12 hours outside than another 5 seconds in this shit can.
He doesn't like the ship.
I respect it.
We finally get the final entry from the ship's log. They were engaging the gravity drive. The captain's speaking Latin for some reason. Then the video gets distorted.
Ave atque vale. Hail and farewell.
Veni Vidi Vici, Ja Rule.
I want to say how proud I am of my crew. I'd like to do some intro exposition here. He just goes around the room fucking naming people.
That's what captains do.
As they're running it through filters, the power goes down. It's a power drain. Sam says it's the core. Sam and the captain go to check the fail-safe mechanism. Mr. Justin, a.k.a. Blindwire, just starts convulsing on the table. And he says, he's coming. I thought, you are too?
Who's coming?
The Dark. I call my jizz the Dark too sometimes, you know? Sometimes it's bad thoughts in there. He screams, he comes.
No, he doesn't scream. He just comes.
Yeah.
Ejaculate.
Doc is crawling around on his hands and knees through a green tunnel that's a ventilation shaft lined with circuit boards.
I thought he was in the Matrix.
He finds a breaker panel, takes out a board, goes to repair it, and then he hears Billy. There's a dolly zoom shot to make the tunnel seem longer, and then it starts getting progressively dark. The whispers are right behind him. He's gasping and breathing heavily.
He calls out for Captain Miller. Captain Miller, I've got some problems here. He sounds like a bitch, man. I've got some problems here.
His flashlight goes out, and his dead naked wife says, be with me.
No eyeballs.
Forever.
Then the power comes back. She's gone. Liquid at the bottom of the core is bubbling. It catches fire. A burnt corpse comes out of it. And for a second, I thought that was Owen Wilson, and then I realized he's not in the credits, so it's not Owen Wilson. It probably looks nothing like him. Now the crew's together. DJ says that CO2 can produce some hallucinations.
Impaired judgment. God damn it, DJ, it was not a hallucination.
God damn it, Dutch. It's not a hallucination. What are the errands you have us running for the gravity drive?
Fish was unfazed by that corpse on fire.
Completely.
Yeah, when the nigga popped out the water like,
For a memory that is scarring, he's like, motherfucker, you know.
Like they literally cut from that scene to what's going on here?
Yeah.
He looked like his side bitch showed up while he had his main bitch with him, and he was just kind of eyeing her like, don't fucking come here. Do not say hello to me.
There's that misogyny we love so much. I mean, all right, Captain thinks the doctor must have heard or seen something. Peters admits that she saw her son an hour ago on the examination table.
DJ tries to argue she was in shock, traumatized. Excuse me, no.
She's so bad at this movie. Captain agrees it was real. He felt heat. It's not in their heads.
Smitty, have you seen anything unusual at all?
No, I haven't seen anything, and I don't need to see anything, sir, but I can tell you. This ship is fucked.
Well, thank you for that scientific analysis, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, well, you don't need to...
Okay, Smitty, okay. All right, Doctor. When you break all the laws of physics, and you seriously think there would be a price? You already killed the last fucking group, and you want to kill us as well!
DJ grabs Smitty and holds a scalpel at his throat. That escalated quickly.
I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident?
Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
That's not going to calm someone down, is to put a knife to their throat. You're like, calm down, calm down.
My favorite part is after he lets him go, Smitty tries to attack Sam one more time.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of Dr. Evil when he was on Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
And they split him up. He's like, I'm fine. And then he runs across the stage again.
Finally, he tells him to go repair the ship with Cooper, right? Make no mistakes. And so Smitty walks out and he does the stare down of Sam Neill as he walks out like, I would have whooped your ass, motherfucker. I love that stare down where you've kind of been separated, go your separate ways, and you just mad dog, mean mug this guy the whole walkout. I fucking love that.
A lot of collar grabbing in this scene, and DJ drops the scalpel like he doesn't remember picking it up.
Yeah, the ship, the demons. Stark's got a theory for Captain Miller on why the bioscans were of an indeterminate origin. There's a connection between the readings and the hallucinations, all part of the defense reaction, some sort of immune system for the ship. And he just says, I don't have time to listen to this.
She insists.
I'm not fucking having it.
The ship is reacting to them. The reactions are getting stronger. Ship brought something back with it, a life force of some kind. What are you telling me?
You telling me the ship's alive?
You wanted an answer, and that's the only one I've got.
No, what I want, Lieutenant, is to survive the next 10 hours. And that's why I had the note. He is all-time great at using military rank as a punctuation in a sentence.
Also, it's been another 7 hours.
Everyone just keeps separating from each other on this ship.
It's a huge fucking ship.
Yo, no one is in a room together at the same time.
Pockets, they got a lot to do in a short amount of time. All right? It's a big dick-shaped ship, and they got a lot of shaft to get through, okay?
We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It is a long, smooth shaft, complete with 2 balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous... Wang, pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying...
Willie.
Linewire's body is gone as Peters is pacing around the med center. She's looking for him. The lights go down. She sees a biohazard warning room. There's this loud-ass banging. Sparks fly behind her, and she goes running. And that's when Sam Neill, who's so good at this, does the slow raising of his head. And he's one of the best at that. It's just like the Spielberg shot. He's so good at that.
She runs into DJ on the bridge. There's a big crash. The metal door is getting dented. They keep cutting to Sam Neill looking extremely calm and creepy.
And he's just like, open the door. Starts walking towards him.
Yeah. What are y'all guys doing?
Stark hits him with this wrist hold to stop him from opening the door.
Self-control is an asset.
When she has Sam Neill in the chicken wing, the look on his face, man, like,
oh, he's ass off, man.
But she's holding him for a hot second, though, and it snaps him out his horse shit.
The banging stops. She lets go. Forward airlock alarm goes off, and Mr. Justin is in it.
Justin!
He's not wearing a suit. Cooper says he's on it. The captain tells him, as you were, sailor. They try to disengage the override. He won't turn around. The captain is making his way to the outside. And then Justin slowly turns around to face them. Did you hear it? Yes, I heard it. Do you know what it is? It shows you things.
Shows you things.
Horrible things.
It showed me Hot Rod.
I'll be in my room painting horrible things.
The dark inside me from the other place.
I won't go back there. I won't.
That's not the best writing I've ever seen.
I would say he delivered one good line. He goes, if you've seen the things I've seen, you want me to jump into space too.
Yeah. She's like, no, that's not you talking.
You mean this movie?
He moves to the buttons. He puts his finger over the green inner door button. Why is the green button and the outer door button so close together?
Right next to each other.
Right next to each other.
What a stupid fake out.
It's so easy to fat finger that. And there's not an override?
There is an override. He disabled it.
That's bad design.
Baby bear, mama bear, open the door.
There's a good countdown here. 30 seconds till that door opens. I love a countdown.
And then the alarm goes off and it snaps him out of, I'm sad. I'm a sad boy.
Snaps him out of the darkness.
He goes, where am I?
Hey, turn this shit off. What are you doing?
Wait, actually, I don't want to go out into space.
Yo, get me the...
I don't want to die in here.
Open the door, mama bear. Open the door.
Fish is running in space or whatever.
No, he's not running. He's swimming.
He's parkouring. He's flipping over shit, gymnastics his ass down.
He is space laddering to this motherfucker.
Justin!
And I thought, is this motherfucker going to try to catch him as he comes out into space?
You damn right.
That's not going to work.
There's strobe lighting. We see Justin's veins popping out of his arms. It's starting.
Yeah, he gets super vascular.
My eyes.
They're starting to hurt. He goes, close them.
As tight as you can.
Fish's advice is, yo, blow out all the air and then tuck yourself into fetal position. I'm like, this shit doesn't work, man.
And there's just blood spurting out.
In slow motion.
Like a fucking Tarantino movie.
So much slow motion in this movie. The story is in slow motion.
I want you to huff and puff and blow all the air out of your lungs.
His eyes are exploding when he says this.
Close them.
It opens. He floats out.
None of this is physics. I promise you. And he just fires right at him. He catches him. Blood is coming out of every hole of his body.
Every hole.
He's dead. He has to be dead. And now it's closed. They're just trying to save him.
Justin is locking in on ass on right here, man.
He's the front runner for sure. There's one moment coming up where I questioned everything.
Sam's listening to all this and he's covering his ears and he just gets super calm because he starts jacking off to the gravity drive.
This CGI blood is fucking phenomenal.
They stabilize him. It won't be pretty, but he should live. How?
Because he huffed and puffed.
What part of his body He's okay.
They're gonna put him in the bathtub, bro.
The blood vessels inside him would have exploded in the vacuum of space.
Instantly.
Bro, he's fine. Lawrence Fishburne told him to close his eyes.
Huff and puff and blow this house down. Don't worry, we're in a storm in space.
Hold yourself together. I got you.
You know what the worst part about the storm in space is?
Everything.
It plays no role in any of this. Like, no one gets struck by lightning.
All it did was stop them from seeing it.
It's for lighting purposes, guys.
Yeah, it's so they can have the lightning flash reveal of certain things.
They can have a horror film aesthetic.
The CO2 levels will be toxic in 4 hours. Captain wants to find out what happened to the other crew before it happens to them. They're going to work on the log from the bridge. Stark mentions that Blindwire said something about the dark inside him.
Doc awkwardly says, doesn't mean anything, and walks away.
I don't think it means anything.
Solid answer.
He's so gaslighty.
He walks out and Lawrence Fisher's like, nah, motherfucker, we're going to talk. Don't walk away from me, mister. I'd like some answers. I'd like to know why one of my men tried to commit suicide by throwing himself out of an airlock. I'd like to know what caused that noise.
Thermal changes could cause metal to expand and contract rapidly, causing reverberations.
Bullshit. You built this fucking ship. You're giving me nothing but bullshit.
Wants to know where the gateway goes, where the ship's been for 7 years. You're supposed to be the fucking expert. I need answers. That's your job.
He just keeps saying, I don't know. I don't know. He doesn't know where the other place is. There's a lot of things happening around here I don't fully understand. I need time.
I see. Well, that's exactly what we don't have, Doctor.
Captain's walking around and he hears someone yell, Captain, don't leave me. He doesn't know where the noise is.
The first time ever a disembodied voice is ass on. I was like, oh, man.
Wow.
Yo, seriously, my next note. Does Amin love these disembodied voices?
No, I did not.
Wow. That's an upset.
Pockets, I'm very big on the disembodied voice. I like when we're in a scene and then there's a voice that's off screen.
Mm-hmm.
A great example of this, and I'm sorry this is the only one I can remember, is from Can't Hardly Wait. The bully dude does his whole Amanda thing in the middle of the party, and at the end of it,
oh God,
off camera, we just hear someone say,
everybody laughs at it.
Yeah, that's a lot of those.
That's the only one you could think of, guys.
That phenomenon, I like it.
You like diegetic sound in the background.
Yes, but this movie tested that and failed. For the first time, I'm like, I'm out on this. Captain, don't leave me. Oh, man.
We get a sudden flash of mutilated people screaming and Cap repeating himself. It's just in his head.
Zombie.
And then I thought I heard a gong. He looks around and says, God help us.
It's in your head. That's what I was thinking. Shout out to the Cranberries.
Cut to the captain explaining what he experienced. A guy named Eddie Korrick,
a young bosun,
served on the Goliath together.
4 people made it to the lifeboat, but he was still on board when the fire broke out.
You ever seen fire at zero gravity? It's beautiful. It's like liquid. It slides all over everything. Comes up in waves. And they just kept hitting him. Wave after wave. He was screaming for me to save him. What did you do? I did the only thing I could. I closed the lifeboat hatch and I left him behind. I swore I'd never lose another man. I've known you a long time. You never told me that. That's just it, DJ. I never told anybody. But this ship knew about it. It knows my fears. It knows my secrets. Gets inside your head and it shows you.
This is very Jaws-esque.
You ever seen a fire's eyes?
It's like a doll's eyes. Reminded me of that speech.
It reminded me of Half Baked. Ever seen a fire in zero gravity? On weed. It's crazy, man. It's just like lava. It flows on everything.
It's beautiful.
My problem with him in this speech is I think it's pretty famously known that fire cannot breathe in space. So you can't watch fire dance.
Pockets, there's smoking and there's a storm. Okay. Like, I think we're done on fucking physics.
You right. What am I thinking?
To be fair, technically, the fire wasn't out in space. It was inside the ship. So they had oxygen. There could be fire, it's just there's no gravity. They're floating around.
DJ admits he's been listening to the distress signal. He made a mistake in the translation. He plays it again. It didn't say liberate me. It's not me. It's liberate tutume.
You.
Save yourself.
He replays the last part, thinks it's X and Ferris. Save yourself from hell.
All of a sudden, there was like an entire sentence there that was not there previously.
I gotta be honest, I wasn't paying attention the first time I listened to this.
I was just looking at the store outside the window. Actually, I missed a lot.
I was thinking about that pinup doll that he poked a hole through.
The ship has been beyond the boundaries of our universe, of known scientific reality. Who knows where it's been, what it's seen, and what it's brought back with it from hell.
The blank from hell? Where'd you hear that expression?
Oh, my dad used to say it all the time. You know, everything was from hell.
No, see, that's Richard Lewis's.
Whoever sent that message, sir, believes in hell. Cooper then calls for the captain, ready to repressurize the Clark and get the fuck out of there.
Good line.
They do it. We're repressurized, but it's vetting trace gases. Need 20 to plug the hole. Whew. Cooper says, you're a lifesaver. Peters and Stark have the video, and it's unscrambled, and this is a mutilation orgy.
Blood orgy!
This is cause for celebration. Let's sacrifice Rabbit and eat his flesh. Yay, sacrifice me to the devil. Yay, yay. Blood orgy. Yay, blood orgy.
There are things going into people, things coming out of people.
This movie just took a turn.
She's fucking him.
She's fucking him, right?
Big time.
With a pipe.
Oh, I didn't see the...
Spoiler alert.
Oh, I didn't see the pipe.
I didn't see the pipe. I just saw...
You trying to get it?
Remember that TV show Dirt with Courtney Cox?
No.
There's a scene where Rick Fox gets fucked with a champagne bottle in a jacuzzi by a girl.
You sure that just wasn't a party at Rick Fox was at?
It might have just been a night in the hills. I can't remember. It was one of those. I'll figure it out later.
There's fisting mouths. There's eating blood. There's eating intestines. Captain is holding his eyes in his hands, speaking Latin.
No, it wasn't his eyes. He had his eyes in his head. He had other eyes in his hands.
Oh.
Isn't this ship supposed to play on your worst memories? Where does this come from?
That's what it does now to this crew. But this is when they go through the black hole to hell, apparently.
To hell and back.
Look, I'm going to tell you what, man. It looks like hell to me.
You go to hell, you have a blood orgy. It's what happens.
They get some argument over the captain says we're leaving. Sam says they can't. Their orders are specific. Rescue the crew, salvage what's left of the ship. And he says, the crew is dead, Doctor. Your ship killed them. We're aborting. To be fair to the Doctor, his ship, his choice. They don't have to abort. You should be allowed to choose. No? We're not doing that anymore?
No.
Okay.
Not funny, sir.
International Women's Day 2 weeks ago. Really, Zach?
Yeah, Zach, really?
Oh, well, when you're an ally, Maze, every day is International Women's Day. How about that?
Except for today, apparently.
To the respect women, to people respecting women.
Okay.
Captain tells Stark to download the files from the Event Horizon's computers. They're going to move Justin to the Clark. Peters will get the CO2 scrubbers. They're going to take Smitty with her. Now it's just Sam and Captain on the bridge.
He plans on blowing up the Event Horizon with TAC missiles until I'm satisfied she's vaporized. Fuck this ship.
Golden Dumpster nominee.
Absolutely. I agree, Captain. Fuck Event Horizon is what I wrote. The movie, not the ship.
Sam grabs his shoulder in the corridor, and Lawrence Fishburne turns around like, the fuck did you just touch me?
Fucking touchy as hell, don't he?
And the whole corridor goes dark. Alarm goes off. Bioscan off the scale. Core is draining power.
You can't leave. She won't let you.
You just get your gear and get back on the Lewis and Clark, Doctor, or you'll find yourself walking home.
I am home.
He steps backwards into the shadows.
He just disappears in the darkness.
They're grabbing the CO2 scrubbers, which of course are located right by the gravity drive, because that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're trying to hurry and arguing, and Peters looks back at the core. It keeps making banging noises. We see flashes of her son Denny. A figure runs in front of the light. She's frozen in her tracks. A shot of the core in her eyeball.
Ruben, look to me in my eyeball.
This little bingo child.
This dumb shit.
This motherfucker, man.
This kid's fuck ugly, man.
Bingo!
She crashes. She falls down a tube and crashes, and there's blood everywhere.
I was confused because he was standing up.
Yeah, he's standing up over the edge, and he looks at her like, yeah, that's right, bitch. And I'm like, wait, is this a figment of her imagination or not?
It's the ship, bro.
Yeah, it's the ship.
No, I get it, but isn't the ship fucking with her head?
It did. It killed her.
Yeah, so it's her son, and she wants to be with her son.
Okay, she dies. Why is the son still there?
Well, she's dying.
Because it's the ship.
Yeah, it's the ship. The ship just does what it wants.
Come on, man.
The ship's just rubbing it in at this point.
Just running up the score.
Wouldn't it be the most painful to fall into a grate in front of a black hole machine, looking up at your son who's laughing at you?
And the kid looks down like, gotcha, bitch.
Even her panting his ass on, by the way, when she was running. I didn't think anyone could beat Justin for this, but she's giving him a run for his money now for the ass on. She's terrible. Peters?
Sam walks up to the core. He sees Peters on the ground. He can't believe it. Then he hears that woman call his name in a different room. Goes back to imagining her committing suicide in the tub.
Gratuitous.
Yeah, big time.
And I was like, you know what, man? This might be the border. This is the last time we would get naturals. Everything after this has all been plastic surgery, whatever.
You've been watching.
I don't think that's accurate at all.
Yeah. Natural titties didn't go extinct, motherfucker.
They did in movies.
They're everywhere.
They did in Hollywood.
No.
In film history, they are. Yes.
They didn't.
Yes.
All right. We'll talk about this another time.
A lot of work getting done.
Now she's naked in front of him with her eyes closed. It's all right. I've been so alone. You'll never be alone again. You're with me now. You're with me. And I have such wonderful, wonderful things. Her empty eye sockets open. To show you.
No eyeballs.
She gouges his eyes out, but then he's screaming, gouging his own eyes out in the core.
Hooper's patching up the leaks and he's impressed with himself. Smitty wants him to hurry up. You can kiss my ass, Smith, because I'm done.
Hey.
Damn, I'm good.
Give me a second to collect my tools and we gotta get out of Dodge.
My tools!
My tools!
Get my tools!
Becomes a big tools movie here in the second half.
Smitty sees Sam going back to the Event Horizon.
Waddling.
And that's when he radios to Captain Miller and says he saw the doctor messing around on the Clark.
Radios with a FaceTime call that Fishburne answers in the middle of the corridor. He runs up to this one video panel.
What's up, man? He just kind of slides.
He does just slide in there.
He's running up and down this long ass corridor.
Tells about the explosive.
Smitty finds the bomb in his own locker. 5 seconds on the countdown.
He just accepts his fate.
Big ass explosion, and the captain yells, "No!"
The one bomb fucks up the entire Lewis and Clark.
Chain reaction.
No, it fucked up the umbilicus.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like the whole ship.
Well, it was where the umbilicus connected to the ship.
It's such a dumb word.
That makes sense to me because there's fucking oxygen and fire. That should have fucked up everything.
It does.
This is the one time where I'm like, yeah, all right, you guys got it. You guys finally figured out how that shit works.
Blows up the whole Lewis and Clark. Cooper is launched into space.
Yo, Cooper's done. I got sad. I was like, my man Cooper.
The way they launched him, son, the way they showed him was like, wait, how's he just grasping onto a piece of debris?
It's like Titanic.
My note was, Cooper's alive? How is he alive?
Yeah, motherfucker's holding.
This is very, very prototype Fast and the Furious 9 with Tyrese and Ludacris. Because he figures it out, bro.
Clip his whole talking to himself, floating out on the space debris in the middle of nowhere.
Shit! Where the fuck am I going? Why is this shit gonna happen to me? Fuck. All right, think. All right, I gotta get back to the ship. All right. I gotta blow my air tank. I'll blow my air tank. All right, fuck. Oh, this better work. This shit better work. All right, here I go. All right, 1, 2, 3. Come on. Yes! Here I come, motherfucker!
He figures out how to get back towards the ship.
Cooper is a mathematical genius. There's a reason Cooper's in space, bro.
It's why he's fixing everything. Oh, the ship blew up? I got it. I'll fucking walk in space in the middle of this storm. By the way, no storm at that point. I don't know where the fuck that storm was.
Oh, no, the storm is there. It's just really far away. It's on the surface of Neptune.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And that's where he has to get back to.
So one jet of air is going to get him back.
The best part about Cooper is 99% of people in this situation get blown up or flying away. You obviously don't have rocket blasters or whatever. You're thinking, fuck, man, I'm about to die. This motherfucker said, why does this shit have to happen to me? Like he got pulled over in rush hour.
Oh, he went full on Eeyore. Like, why me?
But it wasn't even a why me, like my life is over. It was like a why me, man, this shit now. Like an inconvenience.
First, I got that fucking parking ticket the other day. Then they got the wrong order for Postmates. And now this shit.
How's this day going to get any worse?
It's just one of those days. I mean, All right, Captain telling DJ, Sam did all this shit. Take him out if you see him.
DJ grabs the Jason X knife. Don't worry about Weir. I just bought a ship named Live Forever. He turns around. Doc grabs him by the throat, drops the knife immediately.
When did he become the Undertaker?
It's the ship.
Superman.
Big old bloody eye sockets. Tosses him across the room. Puts him on a table. Rips his shirt open. There's already a big scar on his chest. We see him grabbing his tools. DJ's screaming and gurgling blood, and then he's dead.
He strings his ass up by his skin.
He mid-Somars him.
Yeah. He opens his shit up and then hangs him upside down so his insides will fall out from that hole.
And dumped all his organs. All his organs was in front of him.
I think those are too many organs. I'm not a doctor, but there's too much there.
You're like 19 organs.
Yeah, there's like 4 livers there. I don't know, man.
Am I going to get any exposition as to why he had a scar down his chest? Like he had open heart surgery?
No, you're not.
Nope, don't need it.
They cut it out of the movie. In case you haven't noticed, we only got the backstory for 2 of the people on the crew.
This movie's 95 minutes and 2 of them were space credits. Captain grabs what I thought was a nail gun, and then I thought, this can't be a nail gun.
The ADR on the gun loading was so bad.
Oh.
Okay, Dr. Weir. You don't want to leave your ship?
You never will.
Click, click.
Finds Stark on the ground. Is she dead? No. He wakes her up with smelling salts that he pulls out of his forearm pocket.
Sleeve pocket.
I thought it was cocaine.
Sam turns around in the captain's chair, lifts his eyeless face.
Oh my God. What happened to your eyes?
Where we're going, we won't need eyes to see.
That's pretty funny. Was that a Back to the Future reference, I mean?
It absolutely was. Same note too.
What are you talking about?
I created the Event Horizon to reach the stars. But she's gone much, much farther than that. She tore a hole in our universe, a gateway to another dimension. A dimension of pure chaos. Pure evil. When she crossed over, she was just a ship. But when she came back, she was alive. Look at her, Miller. Isn't she beautiful?
Your beautiful ship killed its crew, Doctor.
Well, now she has another crew. Now she has us.
I thought Lawrence Fishburne was going to run away with ass off, but Sam Neill, without eyes, is storming back.
Yeah.
He is making a run.
10-minute countdown to activate the gateway. You wanted to know where the ship has been, so now you'll find out.
Stark tries to flank him with an attack, and he just fucking choke slams her and throws her against the wall.
Golden dumpster. Him dropping her like a sack of potatoes. He just fucking tosses her ass.
Doc has the gun now. Fish says if he misses, he'll blow out the hull. What makes you think I'll miss?
How did he get the gun?
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
The ship went, picked up the gun and handed it to him.
Yeah.
I said, okay, so this is not a nail gun.
Cooper's ADR here. That's right, I'm back.
Cooper!
Oh shit, I can't stop. I'm like Mendoza, D2, no brakes.
And then Sam shoots the gun. I wait a second. Those are fucking nails. What is it? What's happening here?
Space harpoon.
The thinnest glass on a spacecraft I've ever seen.
It pierces it, but all it does is create this push of air to move Cooper out of the way.
I thought Cooper got shot in the head. I was like, fuck, man.
Nah, they missed him with that.
Yo, you survived this incredibly unrealistic, unbelievable way, only to get killed moments later.
He fires at Miller. He misses. The glass eventually shatters on the bridge. I do not think this is how space works at all.
This is really bad. It's shaky camera like Speed 2.
It's the most powerful gale force sucking motion of all time.
They think space is what happens when you open the emergency exit door on an airplane.
Yeah.
On the money plane specifically. And then once you get in the hallway,
you're fine.
Pressure's not there anymore.
You're good. No biggie.
It goes on for like 8 minutes.
It is a long fucking scene.
This scene is so long.
He props the door open and pulls Stark out.
Stark is so ass on.
Forward airlock. They're like, it can't be Weir. I'm not taking any chances. And they grab their weapons.
They grab some tools off of a conveniently placed rack right there.
It opens and it's Coop.
The comic relief delivery guy from the beginning of the movie.
He said, don't hit me.
Coop is a fucking survivor.
How?
Coop is amazing, man.
How is he still alive?
That guy is unkillable.
They need to shut the gravity drive down. Can they shut it down from engineering? Instead, they're going to blow up the ship. They're going to use the lifeboat, separate from the rest of the ship, just like they said before. Hopefully someone gets the beacon. They'll put themselves in gravity couches and wait for search and rescue. Coop's going to handle the beacon. Captain arms the explosives. Stark is going to prep the couches.
Got to give more orders one more time.
Cooper does activate the beacon, and then there's all this blood rushing through the ceiling.
Oh, fuck me. Fuck me.
Tanks are filling with blood. It knocks Stark back. It rushes all over her.
Tidal wave of blood knocks her down a ladder shaft. They're running. Captain is down by the meat grinder. He gets the detonator.
Cork shows up.
The Burning Man.
And yells,
"You let me burn!"
Insanely ass on. Burning Man shoots a flamethrower jet of fire after Fish as he runs down the meat grinder, dives through the tunnel. Then it comes through a little opening and makes a skinny flamethrower.
The core is now covered in fire. The corpse is screaming his name and knocks him against the wall. He drops the detonator. I'm fairly certain. I rewound this a couple of times. Lawrence Fishburne's stuntman, as he falls down against the wall, I'm pretty sure that's a white guy.
Oh,
okay.
I thought you were going to say it's Sean Wayans again. Like he wasn't fled.
It looks like they just CGI'd Fishburne's face on the stuntman body.
You're not Edmund Cork. I watched him die.
Burning Man morphs into a Hellraiser, Sam Neill, who just laughs.
We're... The ship brought me back. I told you she won't let me leave. She won't let anyone leave.
Fine.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
He got his eyes back too.
Got his eyes back, yeah, but he's just cut up now. Now he's a tic-tac-toe board.
Here's my thing. I was like, if y'all don't want to do this, man, we don't want to do this either. I felt like these motherfuckers did not want to do the movie anymore at this point. It was just like, ah.
Did you really think you could destroy this ship? She's defied space and time. She's been to a place you couldn't possibly imagine. And now, it is time to go back.
I know. To hell.
You know nothing. Hell is only a word. The reality is much, much worse.
Fish tries to throw a punch. Weird catches it. Now let me show you. We get a bunch of flashes of bloody dead people screaming and being tortured.
Fishburne's ass off. Sam is ass off. This is an incredible acting scene.
Fish says they're not dead. Not yet. And then he grabs the CO2 scrubber and starts beating on Weir.
And we're not
done yet. This Minaj.
The nigga bought aluminum tubes. Do I need to tell you what the you can do with an aluminum tube? Aluminum!
Weir stops him, starts beating his ass, kicks him across the room. The core opens up.
It's on fire.
Take me, leave them alone. No, there's no escape. Gateway's open. You're all coming with me.
Do you see? Do you see?
And that's when Captain Miller grabs the detonator. Yes, I see. And he sacrifices himself.
And he claps it two-handed.
Boom! Pushes the button. Ship explodes. Lifeboat flies off. The core goes into the black hole. Wouldn't the black hole then suck the lifeboat?
No.
Never mind. I give up on the physics.
No.
That's how it works.
Yeah, your wallet.
72 days later, rescue's there. They board the wreckage. 3 survivors, Cooper, Justin, Lieutenant Stark. Justin, massive injuries, blah, blah, blah. Opens the first tank. Stark comes out in wet underwear, by the way. Rescue opens the face shield and, oh my God, it's Dr. Weir, the Event Horizon designer from the beginning of the story.
Right
there with us. She screams, wakes up from a nightmare. Cooper's trying to help her. She's panicking. They want a sedative.
I need a sedative now. Ma, the meatloaf.
We want it.
We need it now.
Cooper insists they're safe.
The end. Roll credits.
And then Funky Shit by Prodigy.
The end? Are you just gonna fucking end like that?
That's it.
They made it home, bro. A black guy, a guy that's probably dead in that tank already, and a tall white woman made it.
The tall white woman he was harassing in the beginning of the movie. So, moral of the story is she should have took that coffee.
She did take that coffee.
Hello.
Who cares if you lose the game? You got this off your chest. I mean, it's just one night of bar trivia.
Ooh. One night of bar trivia is sacrosanct to us.
Trivia is sacrosanct. There's a lot. Paul W.S. Anderson's initial cut ran 130 minutes, was so violent that both test audiences and the studio balked at the final product.
I can't imagine 40 more minutes of this movie.
No.
They ordered him to cut 30 minutes and tone down the violence. Anderson has said he didn't have enough time for a proper re-edit and believes he cut out 10 minutes too much.
The rumor is that when the cut of the movie was screened for a test audience, some of them fainted while others rushed to the door due to being so disturbed by what they had seen.
Really?
At the time? Maybe.
During an interview at Comic-Con 2012, Anderson revealed that producer Lloyd Levin had found the original cut of the film on a VHS, but nothing has been heard of it since. Despite this, what was in the deleted footage has been very well documented and extensive summaries exist online.
I love the idea of the extended 30 minutes is just the entire mutilation orgy.
It's a lot more of that.
Okay, I figured.
It's a lot more of that.
The visions from hell and the ship's video log were inspired by works from 16th century Renaissance painters, which director Paul W.S. Anderson saw while he was touring art galleries with his production designer. Anderson was fascinated by these paintings, as the makers clearly believed in the reality of hell as the complete antithesis of heaven, and the images they created were terrifying and beautiful at the same time. So if you're keeping track at home, hell is basically demons fucking you in the ass and making you suck a dick.
I buy it.
Oh, L.A.
A lot of the so-called visions of hell I directed on weekends. On the call sheets, it was listed as second unit, but it was actually me and Adrian Biddle, the cinematographer, lighting it. It was the principal actors. Because we were working on weekends, it was a, quote, second unit. I think the studio had paid attention to the main unit photography, but second unit, usually it's inserts and bits of action. So I think no one had seen any of this stuff. When they saw it, they were just aghast at it. There was a memorable moment when one studio executive actually said to me in a horrified way, "But we're the studio that makes Star Trek." As though somehow I was besmirching Star Trek with my horrible space movie.
When they finally saw a screening for the rough edit, they were shocked and some even fainted. That's a second note where people are fainting at this movie.
The script originally described the Gateway machine as a smooth and featureless black orb, 10 meters in diameter, suspended in midair. It was also said to contain a stable black hole within it at all times, which the ship used as a power source as opposed to briefly creating a temporary one. He decided to redesign it to involve interlocking circles as an homage to the puzzle box in Hellraiser, which served as an inspiration.
Paul W.S. Anderson was offered the movie on the strength of the box office success of his previous film, Mortal Kombat. He had to turn down the opportunity to direct X-Men, The X-Files, and Alien Resurrection to do this piece of shit.
From an interview in Entertainment Weekly, he said, "The way Hollywood tends to work is when you have a big hit, you're a genius. And then as soon as you have a failure, you're an idiot." So I was in my genius phase because Mortal Kombat, my first American movie, had been a big hit. I got offered a lot of things. I was like the new kid on the block, and certainly X-Men was one of them. Event Horizon spoke to movies I just loved as a film geek. It was a haunted house movie like Robert Wise's The Haunting or The Shining. It was also a scary outer space movie like Alien. So it combined several things that I really loved. I had signed on to do a movie with Kurt Russell called Soldier for Warner Brothers, future cinephobe, and Kurt decided that he wanted to get in shape for the movie and he wanted to take basically 9 months to a year to really get into character. I thought, well, I'm not going to just sit there while Kurt does that. I wanted to do another movie in the meantime, and then that ended up being Event Horizon.
This is one of my favorite notes right here. So the scene where Weir explains how to bend space and time in order to travel huge interstellar distances is paraphrased in Interstellar. I knew it.
Yeah.
They use the exact same demonstration to illustrate the theory. Yeah, fuck you, Christopher Nolan, you hack.
A couple other people do it too, though.
But they did it first.
Because it's based on real theories. Director Paul W.S. Anderson said the movie's cult status was predicted to him years before by Kurt Russell. Anderson screened Event Horizon before they started working on Soldier, and Russell said, "Forget about what this movie's doing now. In 15 years' time, this is going to be the movie you're glad you made."
Is it?
Was he right?
Became a cult favorite.
Is it?
That's why there's so much goddamn trivia about it.
Okay.
The spacesuits worn by the actors weighed 65 pounds each. Lawrence Fishburne nicknamed his Doris. Due to the weight, standing upright in them for longer periods could lead to back injuries, but sitting down was not possible either due to the backpack. Special hanging poles were constructed on the set so the actors could rest on them between takes.
For Jason Isaacs' death scene, you'll remember him as the guy with the scar on his chest who got dismembered. The plan was originally for his entrails to still be attached to him as he hung over them. Isaacs was then supposed to raise his head, showing that he was still alive, prompting Lawrence Fishburne's character to shoot him in the head to put him out of his misery.
The Event Horizon was modeled on Notre Dame Cathedral. The rotating corridor, nicknamed the meat grinder that separates the gravity drive from the rest of the ship, is supposed to represent the 9 circles of hell from Dante's Inferno. It leads to the very center of hell, represented by the gravity drive itself. It turned out to be the most problematic set piece to film. Only shots with a fixed camera could be done since camera operators became disoriented and unable to keep the camera steady. Lawrence Fishburne could not perform his run through the tunnel in one take due to the same problem. The final scene was comprised of several shorter takes, and when the fireball effect was filmed, a piece of cloth started to burn and caused a small fire.
Oh, shit.
Partially destroyed the set. Different set had to be built quickly while the old one was being repaired. In the end, the repaired set was only used for an additional day of filming. The actors were stimulated to invent a backstory for their characters. Jason Isaacs based his character on his own brother, who's a doctor. In his backstory, his character had undergone extensive surgery as a child, explaining the large scar on his chest. And the visions he received from the ship were of him completely cut open. Isaacs asked if he could take home the dummy in his likeness with the chest sliced open. The special effects department was quite shocked with the request, so they told him they still needed it, even though they didn't. Assholes.
He wanted to fuck it.
Event Horizon was rush released in the summer of 1997 by Paramount to fill the hole in the studio schedule left by James Cameron's Titanic, delayed by production difficulties.
It was James Cameron's fault.
While the studio attempted to broaden the movie's appeal by having Anderson remove some of his film's gorier material, Event Horizon was beaten at the box office in its first week of release by Copland, Conspiracy Theory, and Air Force One.
File. All those movies are awesome.
And you blew it! You blew it.
Some of the deleted scenes from the original 130 minutes long cut are the meeting scene between Weir and some people in charge of the mission where they talk about Event Horizon. More backstory for Justin and Cooper. It was explained that Justin had always been fascinated by Event Horizon, providing a much stronger explanation for why he enters the black hole when he's finally on board. Cooper's greatest fear was losing someone close to him, which is represented in the film by his unfortunate accident that claims Justin. Deleted backstory that hints to a previous romance between Stark and Miller.
Jesus Christ, this is...
More scenes explaining what exactly Gateway to Hell / Black Hole is. Longer version of the scene where Peters hallucinates her son's legs are all mangled with maggots all over them. Anderson claimed that the maggot shot was so particularly sickening that it took people too far out of the movie to be effective.
There's a whole other fucking movie in this cutout movie.
The infamous blood orgy video was also much longer. Parts which are still in the scene, like the one of the crew members sticking his fingers deep into the other one's eyes and a female crew member sodomizing a male crew member with an iron pipe, were even more violent in the original version. There were also a lot more extended shots of the crew naked and covered in blood, having violent sex, raping, and eating each other. A crewman pulls his own intestines out of his mouth. A crew member is held and stabbed in the back of the head with spike, and part of his mouth and teeth pop out. A crew member is crawling on the floor while others are hitting his legs with steel bars, smashing them to pieces as he screams and is crawling away, leaving bloody pieces of his legs behind.
Fuck your couch.
A woman has screws drilled into her teeth. A woman is restrained while one of her arms is broken and torn off with a hunk of metal. A woman has her breasts mauled and then ripped off and eaten by another crew member who is raping her.
What does that mean, mauled?
You telling me this list is gratuitous?
In order to make the scene look more realistic and therefore a lot more violent, they hired real-life amputees for the crew members that had their body parts damaged. And porn actors were hired to make the sex and rape scenes more graphic.
That's Paul W.S. Anderson wanted to fuck a porn star. That's all that is.
On the weekends.
You can tell that Resident Evil ends up becoming his greatest achievement because it's like, I can do all those things and no one can stop me.
Yeah.
With my wife.
There's a lot more shit they cut out, man.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Essentially, a lot of the gore and visions of hell were condensed down into whatever we got.
I kind of want to see that version of the movie a little bit, but I don't want to watch an extra 30 minutes of this movie. I'm very conflicted here.
I just want that scene.
Anderson also credited visual effects supervisor Richard Yuricich, who worked on 2001, Close Encounters, Blade Runner, and Mission Impossible. You looked at their visual effects 15 years afterward and they just didn't look dated. They looked like they'd just been made. I said to Richard, how did you manage that? And he said, just do it for real. If you can, do it for real. And if you can't do it for real, do as much as possible for real. Instead of going with cutting edge CG, he would build big models of the spaceships. We would build big interiors for the sets. We try to do as much practically as possible.
It shows.
Are they taking a victory lap?
Yeah.
The nerve of these assholes.
I'd like you all to do an experiment on a plant, something that may benefit mankind. And if you devise something that's groundbreaking, I guarantee you a A in this course.
Oh, well, hold on, man. You firing me? You can't do that, Lionel. Look, man, if you don't want me to have a foreman job, I understand, but I need my fucking job, man.
Louis Pinnock Accent Award. I had Captain Kilback's Latin.
Yeah, I was going to go with the Latin.
Infarateme.
There's no one that kind of stands out. Maybe like Jason Isaacs for missing an entire sentence in Latin.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Actually, I missed something. It's like, what?
Yeah, I missed a whole bit of dialogue. That's good.
Let's show me who the horsemen are, guys.
Yeah, we got soul.
5 Horsemen. I had space jargon, exposition, gore, and tools.
For me, it's lightning.
The space storm.
Yeah, the space storm was killing me. Fucking eyes missing. Yo, no one eats in this movie. Ain't no food.
No food. Well, they did eat some of the body parts.
Yeah, they eat intestines, and Sam Neill has some cereal at the beginning of the movie.
He does have some cereal.
They ate some ass too.
That don't count. It don't count.
My 5 Horsemen nomination would be physics? Question mark?
Okay.
I just don't understand how any of this worked.
I got a couple more for you. I have lecture exposition, which is a little different from regular exposition because he just lecturing the whole time. And then slow motion. This was a huge movie for slow motion.
Yeah, but it's like bad slow motion. It's like the jittery
Battlefield Earth.
Yeah, it's really bad. I'll make one of my horsemen the suit that Sam Neill wears at the final battle scene. They were very careful to shoot it just his face and like right below here. Because there's one wad, it looks like he's wearing like a big rubber fucking diaper with bloody cuts on it.
I think it's space jargon, space exposition, or physics. I think that's all kind of the same area there.
Yeah, I would go physics or gore.
They cut all the gore out.
Yeah, that's true. Except for a little bit of ass eating.
Breathe in through nose, out the mouth.
Ass on, ass off.
Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex. Teddy Rex, Moosey Teddy Rex.
Ass on, fuck it, ass off. Ass on, fuck it, ass off.
Michael Biehn Memorial Ass On Award. I think it's down to Noah Huntley as the Burning Man or Jack Noseworthy as Mr. Justin.
With Burning Man.
The Burning Man who says, "You left me!
You left me!"
He stinks. He's my least favorite part of the movie.
No, man.
You let me burn!
He's so worthless. He's like, all right, we got to give Lawrence Fishburne something that he's sad about too. Let's get this flaming white man.
Yeah.
Makes him feel bad.
Now pockets.
But even when they first tried, he's like, nah, I'm good. That's not going to upset me. Like, yeah.
Yeah, he's thinking that right now. He's in this weird microchip tunnel. Leave me alone.
We're on a countdown. I can't do this shit right now.
If my whole body was on fire, I don't think my eyes would still be pearly white. I think I'd have a little bloodshot eye going on too. So,
Well, yeah, because you don't understand hell.
yeah, that's true.
Clearly.
Ass on for me was Peter's.
Oh, Kathleen Quinlan. She's pretty bad.
She came strong at the end, man. When she's panting, when she's running, but really she's just lightly jogging.
The kid ain't great either, the dream kid, but they're going to go to Flaming White Man for me.
For me, it's Peters or Mr. Justin.
I think Mr. Justin.
Yeah, I would go Mr. Justin. Jack Noseworthy, which can't be his real name.
It's a great name.
That name stuck out in the credits. I was like, Noseworthy.
Yeah.
Carl Weathers Memorial Ass Off Award. It's down to 2 people in that final scene. Lawrence Fishburne is Captain Miller and Sam Neill is Dr. William Weir. And you did your research, Pockets, on whether Lawrence Fishburne is in fact good. Is he in fact good in this movie?
He is excellent in this film.
He's so good.
When he has to play a person that's leading something, I trust him to be leading and the people to be following. It's the same thing he does in The Matrix.
I would say Lawrence Fishburne goes up 20 early in this game. And then there is a late push where Sam Neill makes it a 1-possession game. You start wondering, holy shit, Lawrence Fishburne's going to blow this. And then he just ends it with the clap of the detonator. We're doing this. He claps it, and I'm like, all right, we're good. Lawrence Fishburne wins ass off for me.
It's a really good performance. In the things that I watched, 4 very varied performances. Because in Fled, it's a 2-hander, but it's terrible. And then always outnumbered. He's a lead, and he's a homeless guy. And he's good in that because it's earnest. It reminded me a lot of like a performance I would get from like Boys in the Hood. King of New York was weird because it's like him as Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck at the same time. Right? But it's good. He doesn't have to be the lead of the fucking movie. He even dies funny. He dies like a cartoon character in that movie. And then watching this is his sweet spot. where he's like stern and he's very clear and he has to lead and he knows how to communicate. And like that was my favorite of the 4 performances.
Yeah, I think Sam Neill, because he gets to play scientist exposition guy and then he goes completely batshit at the end.
He has a better term.
He does get to do a little more range there. So I'll go with him, but I'm good with Lawrence Fishburne if that's how it ends up being.
Yeah, once he loses his eyes, he's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's Fishburne. Zach's right. Sam Neill made the huge comeback. The arena organist was playing. Nah, nah. The crowd was at the defense and every possession. It's a Sunday afternoon playoff basketball, but my man Fish made all the right plays down the stretch. And
he made it happen, man.
Are you good at keeping secrets?
Absolutely.
Because I've got a present for you. Secret present outside by the dumpster.
Is it a baseball mitt?
To fit you like a baseball mitt, like a glove. I hope.
Golden Dumpster nominees: Dr. Weir explaining wormholes in layman's terms, Corpsicle, the production design of the gravity drive, this ship is fucked. Thank you for that scientific analysis. And Cooper talking to himself as he floats away on space debris.
These are the other nominees. I got the interaction between Cooper and Stark. Would you like something hot and black inside you?
Nigga, keep it in your pants, man.
I'm just saying, man. Hold on, man. I'm giving you options. You don't have to take it.
There's one that stands out to me, but I'm trying to see if anything tops it in that movie.
Mr. Justin shaking, saying, he's coming.
He's coming.
And they ask who's coming. And he says, the dark. Ugh. Golden Dumpster, Smitty re-attacking Sam Neill like Dr. Evil when he was on Jerry Springer. Fish yelling, Justin, as he's swimming outside.
Let's say, fuck this ship.
Cooper saying, here I come, motherfuckers. And the look on the kid's face when he's asking,
looking down at his mom.
Yeah. Oh shit, man.
The thing I was thinking about is the airlock scene when he has to catch oh boy.
He launches himself.
But Lawrence Fishburne yelling, Justin! But I also have to give credit to that scene where once the airlock opens, Lawrence Fishburne is chilling.
He is so calm.
He lets this nigga go all the way out into space.
And then I'm going to get him.
And then I'll catch you.
And then I got him.
With instructions. Close your eyes. Puff out all the air in you.
Curl up into a ball, Justin. Baby bear. Baby bear.
Zach, what do you got?
I got the same one as Pockets, man. Him going huff and puff and blow all the air out of your lungs. Close your eyes real tight while blood is spurting out of it. And then he just launches him after parkouring all the way down, catches him and brings him back.
It's like he got there too early. He is chilling. He's like, all right, I'm going to get you now.
I'm going to go with the production design of the gravity drive and the meat grinder. It was just so over the top and huge.
Yo, the trivia fact about Lawrence Fishburne having to run in that, because that shit is fucking with all your senses.
All your senses, yes.
It kind of reminded me of how they shot the Inception hallway scene, how they had it on a big rig that kept rotating. I bet it was similar to that.
Right.
It's a fucking funhouse tunnel. That's what it is.
Yeah, your vision will not allow you to run in a straight line when something like that is happening.
Right.
Because your brain is getting tricked into what the straight line is.
Plus, they got the flamethrower coming after him. It's ridiculous. Amin, what's your golden dumpster?
I sent it in the chat, boys. It's Mr. Justin saying, he's coming. And it said, who? The dark. And then making that face right there. I laughed hard. I laughed long.
Do we get to talk about how we feel about this movie, guys?
Maze, you picked it, motherfucker.
Motherfucker. I like that.
Phobe or file?
So I obviously do my research before watching the movie and reading about the extra footage and reading about the rushed editing production and reading about all this fucking visions of hell shit and the gore and all those things. We talked a little bit about how in 2023, you can be pretty much unfazed by seeing a bunch of graphic images in these visions of hell with obviously fake copious amounts of buckets of blood and people eating intestines and stuff like that. So that being what we're all afraid of definitely did not land. I thought for the most part, it was a cool looking ship. I dug the vibe of the crew. Thought Sam Neill and Lawrence Fishburne were both really good. But the ending is bad and truncated. So we're supposed to think that this ship went into another dimension and then came back, and this other dimension is where they just fuck each other and kill each other.
What the hell?
And that's the scariest thing they could come up with.
Yeah.
I don't know about that, man. There are parts of it that I liked, but overall, this is a phobe for me.
Pockets, phobe or file?
As a child, I'm 95, I'm 8. Little did he know, Paul W.S. Anderson has my heart. And then 97, I'm 10, and I probably watched this movie when I'm like 11. It was like, whatever. Like, I had cable, so it was on. But watching it now as an adult and knowing where Paul W.S. Anderson went on with his career. Because after this, he makes Soldier, and then after that, he makes Resident Evil. There's something else in between. He makes a Three Musketeers movie at one point.
Mm-hmm. Alien vs. Predator's in there.
AVP.
So I hate Paul W.S. Anderson. Right? But now that I'm watching this, and it's like right after Mortal Kombat, and I see that he has a good cast. They gave him a decent budget. He actually made like somewhat of a movie. Now hearing about all the extra footage, it sounds like he kind of made a train wreck, in all honesty, but was able to cut it down to a very digestible 95-minute film. The movie doesn't have time to make sense. The first 30 minutes, you're out of the first act. The second 30 minutes, you're through that shit real fast. And then where the movie broke for me, I'm watching it, you can kind of hear it in the production where it's like, how many gallons of blood did they have on The Shining? All right, let's do like 50 more gallons than that. And then we'll do this big blood scene.
Yeah.
Where a bitch falls through a ladder chute, lands right on her back like a soldier. Bow. I had so low expectations going to rewatch this movie that I was thoroughly impressed by this film. It's almost like he still thinks he's a director. You would have to watch this movie as a file to understand how shit he became later.
So you're saying this is good compared to Resident Evil and everything that came afterwards?
Yeah, I would say after a movie like Mortal Kombat, this is a good movie to watch from that same director. But I would not recommend anything else from his filmography.
Well, hold on, Soldier. I fuck with Soldier. Soldier's all right. Like,
pick it, you coward.
Soldier's all right, but I saw the Van Damme movies, bro. So I know,
That's true. Yeah. Amin, phobe or file? That's a positive sound.
Yeah, that was a positive sound. You went the wrong way on the harmonica.
Yep.
I was just trying to get my high note there. This is a very strong phobe. This movie was terrible. The movie was in slow motion. Lawrence Fishburne said, fuck this ship. I said, yes, fuck Event Horizon. One of the trivia, I don't know if we mentioned it or not, they originally argued against having a physical alien on the ship because they didn't want it to be like Alien. So instead of a movie where they're trying to be like other good movies like Fled, we picked a movie that tried to be like bad movies, I guess.
No, it tried to be The Shining. What are you talking about?
It's trying to be Hellraiser. It's trying to be Alien.
Wait, I mean, are you saying that Fled is better than Event Horizon?
By virtue of my pick, yes. I filed Fled. I gave a big phobe to Event Horizon.
Yeah, so welcome to Amin's hypocrisy, Pockets.
Okay, all right. So I'll just not know what we're dealing with.
Not hypocrisy. How about a story that makes a little bit of sense? How about that?
Ship went to hell.
Terrible. Fled does not make sense.
Not enough computer discs for Amin.
There's just the one, and it was stuck in the drive. That's a phobe for me.
Zach, phobe or file?
I remember liking this movie, but I haven't seen it in probably 2 decades. I love Lawrence Fishburne in it. I love Sam Neill in it. Jason Isaacs. I like him. I think he's good in just about everything. I like Smitty in that. Obviously, Richard T. Jones is fantastic.
Yeah, Richard T. Jones probably deserved an ass-off nomination.
He definitely should have been in the ass-off category. I think there's a lot of good here, and I love horror movies. I'm all in. I like getting scared watching a horror movie. I was actually hoping...
Did you get scared watching this?
There were like 2 jump scares early on, little sudden things, and I was like, maybe I'll count these, but then I didn't have one the rest of the movie. So I was just like, it wasn't scary. Gore doesn't really bother me or scare me. So like that whole thing,
more of a Bush guy,
the mutilation orgy, that probably could have gone way worse. And apparently it did. We just didn't get to see it. But I gotta say, I like this movie. I'd watch it again. I think it's a file. I think there's enough good acting in this movie. It's quick.
Jesus Christ.
I'm confused by the physics of it, but I'm also kind of like, all right, they just said fuck physics. We're going to do whatever we want.
It's a movie.
And really, like, Richard T. Jones carries it at the end.
They literally said fuck physics.
Yeah, they did. here I come, motherfuckers. And then he gets to the window and he's like, oh shit, what's happening?
A black man survives this horror film.
Welcome to extended Black History Month, Black Heritage Month, Ally File.
It's Black Women's History Month.
Yes.
There you go.
BWHM.
Every month.
How about that? I know there's not a black woman in this movie, but still.
No, there's not.
Could have been.
There should have been.
Maybe in the uncut orgy mutilation scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe there's an amputee.
What?
Make sure you send us your FOMO file, your golden dumpster, ass on, ass off, your 5 horsemen, and your Lewis Pinnock Award at Talk Hoops, at Darth Amin, at Corn Puzzle. Pockets, do you have Twitter?
I do not have Twitter. I'm just on Instagram. I'm lowly Instagram man.
Send Pockets a DM on Instagram with all those pics for you.
Yeah, I'm Pockets. Letter I, letter M, Pockets, one word.
Pockets, you want to promote anything?
I recently just dropped a music video that I directed for a friend of mine. The name of the song is called 32. The artist is Bad Luck. It's on my Instagram and stuff. I believe the artist is probably put it on YouTube at some point. But I'm shooting another music video, and then I'm working on a short film produced by Lena Waithe at the end of the month.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Oh, shit. There you go.
See, I mean, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
What?
Pockets watched this from a directorial vantage point and liked the movie.
Yeah.
He's a real director.
Like that. So is Paul Anderson.
You just direct your hand to your meat.
Next time we make love, you introduce me to Jade.
Zach, you're up next in the daisy chain, and you can't pick Lawrence Fishburne.
I texted you guys earlier this week. Well, I guess earlier 2 weeks ago, whatever the timeline is.
No, timeline's messy.
I was down to 16 choices. They're all movies I want to do. They're all movies I would go into it expecting a file. I enjoy all these movies, but no Lawrence Fishburne. It took away 6 of them.
He said 16 files, and none of them were Resident Evil.
None of them were Resident Evil. He wasn't even considering Resident Evil movies at this point.
So how did you whittle this list down, Zach? What was your process?
There are a couple that are rentals that I felt like, all right, I want to do this movie for Cinephobe, but I don't want to rent this movie. My Giant was one of those. King Ralph was one of those. Memoirs of an Invisible Man, I was kind of leaning towards that. Get Chevy Chase into the mix, but decided not on that. Started thinking about, all right, Richard T. Jones. He's in a 0%er. Jury Duty. We could go back to the 0% world.
Is that Pauly Shore's Jury Duty?
Yes. It's on HBO Max. And I thought, okay, I think I might want to do that. I wanted to bring Samuel L. Jackson into this with Formula 51. But boys, I did decide on a rental. I did decide to bring back the rental wars. I'm going back to Jack Noseworthy, Blind Wire. We're doing Encino Man.
Yes!
Oh my God.
Finally.
I've wanted to do Encino Man for a long time.
Pauly Shore.
Oh.
Brendan Fraser. That gives you
Sean Astin.
2 very nice paths you can go down. I mean, you look so disgusted right now.
You could do Airheads. You could do Biodome. You could do Jury Duty. You could do Son-in-Law. There's a lot of places you could go, Amin, but where we're going next week is back to the Stone Age.
The Stoned Age.
Ah,
Oh, I got to pack up all my tools.
your tools.